You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, proud member of the Crow's Nest Podcast Network, companion podcast at PJ4F.com, the #1 podcast in Raider Nation. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by DC4L Custom Tees. Check them out at DC4LCustomTees.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler. 100 episodes, Che.
100. That's 100 episodes, y'all.
100%.
100% of the time.
100% of the
we
time.
give 100%.
That's right.
On the 100th episode.
A hundo.
We're going to drink 100 chelas.
We keep it 100, as the kids say. We're going to drink 100 chelas.
Yeah, we're going to fucking sleep for 100 hours.
We went back and forth as to like what can we do special for this show. We thought about pulling some of the best calls.
Yeah.
But no offense, didn't want to sit through 2 hours of WAP Raider phone calls. Because it might have just been a montage of WAP Raider. And that's a compliment, WAP.
That's a compliment, man. You call in, motherfucker. You call in.
Nah, but really, we wanted to do that. We didn't have the time. Yeah. Yesterday, we couldn't carve out the time. Instead, I ended up drawing on some fool's face. That's another story. You're going to have to check out the Crow's Nest tonight to hear about that. So we decided, you know what? We wanted to get a Magnum bottle of beer.
Yeah.
Not a Magnum condom, you perverts. So we went to find a Magnum. They didn't have a Magnum.
Yeah.
We ended up just buying a bunch of different beers.
Yeah.
And,
ain't no wrong with that.
We selected the one that we have. We're going to get to that. Let me set the table. And we'll get into Chelas and kick off this 100th episode.
Yeah.
How's that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so first off, as you guys already know, proud member of the Crow's Nest Podcast Network. Make sure you follow us at CNPodNet on Twitter and I believe also on Instagram. I think that's our ad on Instagram. I'm not sure.
I feel like it's Crow's Nest Podnet.
Okay.
On Instagram.
Just search Crow's Nest Podcast Network. We're the only one. You'll find us. Also, update. I mentioned the Crow's Nest. Update on the Nest. Episode 3 was in the bag. Episode 4 last week. 4 episodes in, going strong.
That's right.
We had to hit you with that 3-hour episode last week.
A beefy one. It was a beefy one.
Beefy.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, when we started, I was like, hour long. We can do like an hour.
Yeah, we're going to do like a 45-minute to hour show, bro.
Some of y'all.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Psych. Some of y'all haven't tuned in, some of y'all, but a lot of you have, and we're really just kind of floored by the amount of listeners that we have on the Crow's Nest already. So we want to say thank you to you guys for holding us up right there.
Yep.
If you haven't checked out the Crow's Nest yet and you're thinking, it's not a Raider show, I don't really do podcasts, I'm here for the Raiders, and that's it. If you like our show, the Crow's Nest is the Pillaging Podcast after hours.
Yeah.
This show came to be because we wrap our show around 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and our friend Polygon comes over, and he would come over, and we would just sit, and we'd chop it up for an hour or two.
Yeah.
We'd wind down. Polly would bring some crazy snacks over.
Yeah.
And we would just chop it up. And I would say all the time, man, we need to be recording this conversation. This is a good conversation. And so now we do. And now that's called the Crow's Nest. So that's Crow's Nest After Hours. If you want more Kenny and Shay in your life, you want to meet our friend Polygon, please tune in. You can find that anywhere you find the Pillaging Podcast by just searching the Crow's Nest Podcast. Yes, there's a couple out there, but we're taking over the airwaves, man.
You're fucking right.
Goddamn right.
Yeah.
Also, make sure you follow the crew on Twitter at Kenny Stapler, at Che_PJ4F, and of course at Cain MT6.
That's right.
So follow us. We cut a little bit more loose on our personal accounts. Get to know us. Get to know the men behind the podcast.
And we follow back.
We do follow back. Follow back on the personal account. Anybody that follows on my personal gets to follow back. Also, just really quick, just to resend an announcement from last week, the Inebriation Nation podcast has joined our network.
That's right.
From the creators of the Fan Club Blitz on the Murph's Man Cave network, and they're still over there. They're double dipping. They're on both networks, which we're really happy about because we have a lot of respect for Murph and his folks over there.
Absolutely.
But on our network, we don't censor, and so they felt like the Inebriation Nation podcast fit in well over there because it's all about beers, it's all about booze, and general fuckery, as they say.
That's right.
That's what it's about. And they're brewing their own beer. They're bottling their own beer. And that's a fit for us, right?
Yeah, man.
That fits right in.
Send some over.
Send him over.
Just send him right over, dog.
This is all a part of Chase plan, his parlay to get his own beer named after him.
That's right.
It's gonna have
It's gonna happen, motherfuckers.
It's gonna have a felt label with his. You can actually feel his beard on the label.
A little fuzz on there. It's gonna be a little fuzz on there.
Tonight's guest on the show, we got Scott Bair.
Yeah.
Scott last joined us in September, just before the eve of opening day. So it's been a little less than a year since we've had him on, but it's good to get Scott back on. And he will do the 2-minute drill challenge tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So probably the biggest name we've had do the 2-minute drill. It's exciting. I won't say what his categories are. You're going to have to wait for that segment. Also, donations. The donation link was broken. Rando. It's fixed now on Twitter. You can actually find it if you're listening on YouTube. You can find it right in the description of the show. So right in the show description there, click the arrow. It'll bounce down, and there's a link to donate to us. We'll give you shout-outs to the donators at the end of the show. You guys really are keeping us on the air.
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. If we can't pay that Libsyn bill, it's a month without the Pillaging Podcast. You don't want that.
No.
So whatever you can give, man. Some folks give us $1 a week, and some more. You know, everything helps. Everything helps. It all adds up. Make sure you download the Pillaging Podcast app. Get all of our past episodes. Be able to call into the show straight from the app. And I think it's 100th episode, and since it's all about you, we're going to be opening up the phone lines in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're listening live,
talk about.
You can dial the number in the second half of the show. And, hey, if you call and we're in the middle of a conversation, Cain's Corner's cracking, we're just going to pick up the phone.
Just going to pick up the phone, dog.
And we'll see what happens.
See the perks of missing Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Get to call into the Pillaging Podcast.
That's it.
All right. This is the perks.
Hey, DVR that shit. You can watch it after.
Hey, shout out to Chuck. Because he said, I'm recording that shit because I got to be down with the Pillagers, man. So shout out to you, Chuck.
That's real.
Shout outs to you, bro.
Yeah. And then, of course, merchandise. Make sure you check out onenationfanwear.com. Original gridiron line, everything on there. Fire. Make sure you definitely check out DC40customtees.com. If you're wondering where the Pillaging gear is, it's at DC40 Custom Tees. We got a whole page of gear on there for you. So, and if you're real nice to Dan over there, if you send him a message, he might hook you up with some of that discontinued Pillaging gear.
Yeah.
Some of that gear that's been discontinued.
That's the special stuff.
That special hitter.
Yeah.
And of course, we got a care package from Mojo Raider, which actually I think might be kind of fun to open up live on air. So maybe we'll save that for the second half. The second half of the show is going to be packed tonight. It's going to be a long show, guys.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
Buckle up.
But all that is fine and dandy. The table is set and the chelas are nice and cold.
Oh, yeah.
So it's time.
It's time, brother. It's time. And now it's time. Shout out Bruce Buffer.
It's time.
It's time for the chelas, y'all. Today we had to crack this one out. Shout out to our boy Chuck from the Inebriation podcast, because he put us onto this last week when we were talking it up with him. Check that interview out on the Crow's Nest. They joined us recently, and so we sat down with them. We talked a little bit about beers and all that good stuff, man. And bringing them on to the network, it was all good fun. But they shouted out because we were drinking a New Belgium last week, also
that Voodoo Ranger,
a Voodoo Ranger, and he was like, "Yo, shout out to that New Belgium Brute, that Brute IPA."
And why did we pick the Brute?
Well, listen,
because you wanted to drink champagne.
Oh, I wanted to drink champagne?
Yeah, you mentioned champagne.
How you going to put that on me, Kenny? How you going to put that on me? No, listen, so I was like, yo, what are we doing? We got to celebrate, right? I think I threw out champagne just as fun.
We were throwing it out there.
Come on, now, just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know me.
Yeah.
It's all about chelas, dog. Ain't no champagne in the world going to make me stop drinking chelas.
You were trying to G-check me. You were like, I'm going to throw this out there, see what he says.
Let's see what he says.
And I was like, hell no.
He said, that's right. I said, you goddamn right, no champagne. But we got the closest thing that you could, right? We got this Brute IPA from New Belgium.
Yeah.
There's some other Brutes out there. I've seen them in the stores, but we got this one today, and it gives you a little bit of that champagne feel, which is a dry taste, right? There's a little dry taste to this. It's really good, man. It's really good. I expected more of a hoppy beer because it's an IPA. But there's a lot of wheat. There's a lot of wheat flavor that's coming through on this beer. And then with that dry crispness of the beer, it's really good, man. So shout out to New Belgium and go out there and get yourself one of these bad boys. This IPA, this Brute IPA from New Belgium.
Real crisp, real dry. You get that IPA hit right off the top, but then it disappears. And like Chase said, that wheat flavor comes through. And it finishes off real dry, real clean in the mouth. Just makes you want to take another sip.
Yeah. And another.
But you got to be careful because this ain't your average. This is a 6.7%.
There you go.
Not quite that 12.
Yeah.
Not quite that denogonizer.
No. Well, you know what? The denogonizer is about a 9.75.
Is that what it is?
It's a 9.75. How do I know this? I was just drinking one last night.
You stay drinking those, bro.
But it's all about the IBUs, bro.
So
the IBUs on that bad boy are like 91%.
So explain that to me.
So it gives more strength to the beer. So last week on the Pillaging Podcast, we drank our brother Juice came through with the brown sugars,
heavy hitters,
and those are 10, right? Those were 10% alcohol,
like 10.7.
But the IBU was 51, so it was pretty smooth. It's a smooth drinker. You could drink them easy.
You could pound them,
and then you get fucked up.
You're real fucked up.
It's all good. But with the denogonizer, you drink those bitches, you know you're in for some fucking trouble, dog. When you're drinking that first one, you know, oh, this is gonna go down a bad road. I just made the wrong turn, dog. So, any of you guys out there at the stadium that be going to the denogonizer station, I know y'all motherfuckers don't be getting more than one of them bitches, because if you did, you be asleep. You be asleep in the stadium.
Sleep. And what?
Sleep.
Section 126-ish.
Yeah.
They got that denogonizer booth. You can find us over there.
Yeah.
We're right there.
That's where our seats are, though.
That's that second quarter specialty.
I look over my shoulder just to keep tabs on it, make sure it's still doing okay. I say, hey, hi, denogonizer station. I'll see you at halftime.
That's that halftime hitter. The halftime
I walked over there. I remember I was in line last season, and I'm sitting there, and there's a group of people's behind me. And homeboy's like, he's like, I usually drink like Millers and stuff. But so this is cool. This is cool. And I was all, no, it's not, dog. They're gonna carry your ass back to the car, dog. That motherfucker was asleep.
Speaking of sleep,
he was asleep.
Sleep.
Yeah. Shout out, y'all. I hope you guys are popping all the chelas in the world.
Yeah.
All the delicious chelas for you, man.
It's a good time for it. Episode 100.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you guys know, it is episode 100. This is a milestone episode.
Oh, huge.
Huge.
Bigly.
Jalen Richard re-signed with the Oakland Raiders.
Yes, he did.
In his 3-year career, Richard has tallied 124 receptions for 1,057 yards. His 68 receptions in 2018 tied with Jared Cook for the team lead. Y'all giving big props to Jared Cook. Well, who was tied? Your boy Richard. And his 607 receiving yards was the third highest total on the team, behind only Cook with 896 and Jordy Nelson with 739. This was also a career year for the former Southern Mississippi runner, topping his previous best of 256 receiving yards, a career year for Jalen Richard. Cheers to you, Jalen. Cheers to you.
Cheers, brother. Chelas for you, brother. Oh, yeah. It's good to have you back, man. I feel good about Jalen Richard being an undrafted, cat that we took. We didn't expect much from him to get what we've gotten out of him, the production that we've gotten out of him. I mean, that's a huge hit right there.
That'd be a great conversation to have with Jalen. Just him coming from undrafted free agency to being a household name in Raider Nation. Props to you, brother.
Yeah.
And it feels good to have you back. You were that one piece. I know you had that second round tender on you, but now that you're re-signed, it's kind of like, man, I had that sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That feels good to bring you back. So rarely do you say that about a UDFA. Yeah, I said it right. UDFA. Glad you're back. Chelas. Contigo.
Yeah.
With you, with everybody. Keep it moving. More Raider signings this week. The Raiders bring back a familiar name, defensive end Benson Mayowa.
Oh, yeah.
6'4", 265-pounder is a pass rusher, having put up 4.0 sacks last season for the Arizona Cardinals and 11 over the past 3 seasons for the Cardinals and Cowboys. The 27-year-old doesn't exactly solve the need at edge rusher position, but at least add some depth to a position that had none. He joined second-year man Arden Key and newly signed Josh Moreau and a recent former Double-A effer Alex Barrett at the end of position. Alex is just happy to get a paycheck at this point.
Yeah.
Because he was like, y'all invited me to the party and then you called the cops. And now everyone's fleeing.
I didn't even get to play beer pong, dog. I just got here.
Cheers to all the Double-AF guys that are eating NFL contracts, because it's very ironic. The NFL was like, yeah, you're a developmental league. That's cool. We never said officially, but hey, if you want to say that.
Sure.
By the way, we're sending you 0 players. And they pulled out. Pull-out game, real strong.
Pull-out game strong.
Very slow week in news, but one more thing. Mike Mayock had his pre-draft presser this week.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
He's on the other side of the table now as a general manager for the Oakland Raiders. What's different for Mike Mayock? They asked him, what's the difference here? And he says now he's got some coaches and he's got some scouts to bounce his ideas off of they didn't have before. He also has access to more info and obviously conversations with the young talent that he didn't have prior to becoming a general manager. Well, that's all fine and dandy, Mike. We got to see how you do this draft. As John keeps telling you, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up, Mike. Don't you fuck this up, Mike. Shit.
Mike says they're going to drill every scenario they can think of, and we'll go through an actual mock draft scenario in the draft room this week. So they're actually going to set it up like they're going to be in the draft. And they're going to throw curveballs at him. They're going to have the phones ring. There's going to be trade proposals coming at him. They're going to basically put him in the 2-minute drill and see how he reacts under pressure. So I'd love to be there, like for this fake draft.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be really cool.
I'd like to be for the real draft too, but I mean, let's pace ourselves.
Yeah, slow down, kid. Slow down.
We'll probably get the invite to the fake draft first. Me and Che just cracking Che laughs on the corner, like, hey.
Like, hey, just at some random bar in Oakland. I thought the draft was going to be going here. I thought we were doing the mock draft here. You guys seen Mike? You see John? No? Shit.
Let's go to Ricky's.
Must be the wrong place.
I told you it was at Ricky's. Mike says he feels no pressure with the top 3 picks, and that of course is a lie. He's feeling the pressure. Mike's got to be feeling the pressure, right?
Yeah, of course, dog. It's his first fucking draft. Okay, he's been doing this pretends, for many years, but this is the first time that his fucking draft actually matters, dog.
Yeah,
it's the first time that it actually matters. So the pressure's on, but I think he's handling it well.
He said it himself. If he blows it, he can get fired, and yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is, Mike.
Exactly what it is, dog.
But he does embrace the flexibility that having this collateral at the top of the draft, basically 4 picks right in the top 35. He embraces the flexibility and understands that having draft capital allows for all scenarios to remain in place. So when pressed over and over again, both him and John Gruden about, are you standing pat? Are you moving up? Are you moving down? They're like, hey, any of those things can happen.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we got that major gap between our last pick is pick 35, and I think our next pick is like 105, 106, something like that. That's a big hole right there. So, Mike did go on to say that he really likes picks 20 through 60. He feels like there's always a lot of value in that range. And
we're very limited there because we only have while we have the 20, 24, 27 and the 35, and then we don't have any for a while.
You don't see us for a minute. Change the channel, dog.
Yeah.
Change the channel.
Yeah.
Go get a chela. Go to the store. Water the lawn.
That's when you refill.
It's going to be a minute.
That's when you refill the ice chest, dog.
And
it's going to be a while.
And when we're on the clock, you already know they're going to commercial.
Yeah.
You already know that's going to happen. So,
yep.
So yeah, Mike. So I really think that a trade back here is in play somewhere along the line. I don't think they trade out of 4, but I think they want to get in there.
Yeah, people are. I mean, if you look at Twitter, dog, people have dropped every fucking scenario possible, like it's gonna happen, man.
Yeah,
like, Raiders will trade up from 4 to 1. Raiders will trade 24 and 27. It's like,
yeah.
Slow down. Slow down.
By the way, the answer is no. I don't give a shit about your mock draft. I don't want to see it. I don't care. I don't care that you're using some shitty draft simulator.
Right.
You're wrong. We're all wrong.
Yeah.
You're bored. I get it. But I don't care. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't need to see it. Like, what are you trying to validate your mock draft through me for? Like, if you're trying to, like, validate your fake draft picks through me,
Yeah.
yo, you're barking up the wrong tree.
But shout out to Rue. Did you see Rue's draft?
No. I already know.
Shout out to Rue. Shout out to Rue, because Rue was like, yo, I got the mock draft of all mock drafts. This one is the absolute factual mock draft. Fucking mark my words. And he just took all quarterbacks. Every single draft pick, dog. Shout out, Rue. That shit was fucking funny, dog.
Folks was triggered.
All quarterbacks, dog. Fucking hilarious.
Hey. Back to Mike Mayock. He says somebody asked him need, right, versus best player available, BPA. And he says, well, it's a coach-driven building. And you read between the lines there, John Gruden's in charge, right? We know that. He's the final word in that building. So he's saying it's a coach-driven building, and coaches pick according to need. And so that's sort of the balance. That's the ballet that he has right now in the building, right? You got to get that best player that's right there. We got to stay true to our board. Drafting to need, he says, not a big deal as long as you're not reaching, right?
Right.
Which is general. That's general knowledge. It's pretty common sense, but it's good to know that there's a system of checks and balances in Raider Nation, at least today.
Absolutely.
That could all go out the window on draft day. We don't know. Again, if I could just be in the room for the fake draft.
So question. Because the word on the street during last draft, right?
Yeah.
Was that Gruden and his crew were on one side of the room during draft day, and Reggie and his crew were on the opposite side.
Like double dare.
Yeah, kind of like
physical challenge, bro.
Right, like stare down. Like, oh, you want that guy? Oh, do you? Oh, really? Not gonna happen, right? Is that gonna be the case? I think it's not, right? Obviously,
no, yeah.
We're not gonna have that story coming out where Mike Mayock's in the corner with his group of people trying to figure out who he would like to draft and Gruden. They're going to be on the same page. They're going to be sitting right now. I expect those motherfuckers sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
Right next to each other.
A big old plate of Hooters hot wings.
And plenty of fucking Coronas, dude.
Yeah. Cardboard cutout John Gruden. The Corona cutout John Gruden in the corner.
John Gruden's going to be in fucking flip-flops. In a fucking beach towel.
John Fuden. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of the situation in the building. He went on to talk a little bit about the free agent picks. Isaiah Crowell, he talked about him being on a 1-year prove-it deal. Kind of alluding to the fact that if Crowell does well this season, he could be a Raiders running back going forward. What does that mean for Marshawn Lynch? I've been telling you guys, I don't think Lynch is coming back, and I'm staying to that, and I think Crowell is further proof of that. And we'll ask Scott what he thinks about that and how that all fits in. But he does say Crowell, he's going to have to pass protect. That's what John Gruden likes out of his running backs. That's why you didn't see Chris Warren on the regular day roster, the regular season roster this year. So, Crowell, you got to pass protect. You're a shifty dude. You can carry the rock. You've been on a couple crappy offenses. You're going to get a shot this year. See some consistency. So, I like Crowell. I know you like Crowell.
Cain likes Crowell.
Cain loves him.
Cain told you that that's his favorite edition of the season. Yeah. That's an off season that includes AB and Trent Brown and all these names, Williams, everybody that came over. He says Crowell's the biggest signing. So let's see if our brother's right.
He said the biggest signing of the offseason, and that's a
hot take. Hot take. Let's hit them with that. Hot take.
One more time. Oh yeah. That fireball. Get it. Also, more Mike Mayock news here. He talked a little bit about Vontaze and Marshall. They said they both bring size and a veteran presence. Didn't say they were on prove-it deals, but the veteran linebackers, they may or may not be around next year.
Yeah,
we'll see. They're here for now. Pro days. Talked a little bit about pro days. He says, what are the Raiders looking at in their pro days? A lot of questions about who they brought in, why they brought them in, why are they looking at quarterbacks? Are they going to draft these guys? Look, I think you get something like 30 visits or something crazy like that on your pro days. Obviously, you don't get 30 draft picks, so you already know they're not going to draft all these guys. But what are they looking at? What is Mike looking at? He says they run these guys through the gauntlet. It's 6 to 7 hours per visit. And it starts off with them in a conversation in the morning. He says it's real easy for these guys in the morning to get fired up. They're talking to John Gruden. He gets people fired up. But Then we move them into the film session, and it's like 2 hours of film study. Then we move them right to the whiteboard, and they got to go draw up the plays. They got to read. They got to react. And then we take a short lunch. Then we get them back out on the field, and we run them through some tests. And we try to see tests that maybe weren't run during the combine. And so it's 6 to 7 days. And it says at the end of that, or it's not 7 days, 7 hours. At the end of that, what they're really looking for is, did they crap out? Are they checking their watch? Are they trying to get to their flight?
Right.
Or are they like, I love this. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more.
Yeah.
I want more football. Put it in my brain. So just like it has been the theme since last year with John Gruden, he said, when they were doing their combine day, they were putting Raider stickers next to players who loved football.
Yeah.
And it was the same thing at the senior day. And that's really what they're looking for. These guys, day in and day out, hour for hour, minute for minute, just eat and crave football knowledge. Because that's who John is and that's who Mike is.
Yeah.
That's all they're about is football. So that's what the pro days are designed for. And in regard to Derek Carr and the QBs in the draft, the Raiders, as you already know, the headline's been out there. They're just doing their due diligence. They feel like Carr is the franchise guy of the future. But you got to look at quarterbacks every single year. It's a position that makes or break a franchise. You got to keep tabs on. You got to know what's there.
Yeah, I think Mike put it the best, though. He said, because I think they brought up that question during his interview. And he said, we think Derek's the franchise quarterback. Yeah, we're moving forward with him as our franchise quarterback, right? But if we feel that there's a person out there that could actually improve the franchise and the direction the franchise is going in, then yeah, we're going to look at them. We're going to see about whether or not the upside to these other players is there. If the upside is higher and it can put us in a better position, then that's something we got to look into and possibly go that route. But he wasn't saying anything about like we're moving on from Derek Carr. No. They're just doing their due diligence, man. They'd be stupid if they didn't look at these guys, right? They got to look at them. Everyone's fucking ranting and raving about these people, right? You got fucking 3 picks in the first round. You fucking check them out.
Yeah.
Even if it's not for your own sake of drafting the motherfuckers, if it's maybe to encourage somebody to get worried that you might, right? And we've been talking about that for the last couple episodes. Like, they might be scare tactics, right? Trying to convince somebody like, we're going to take this guy, and then this person will jump ahead of us, right? They'll trade up with the Jets, or they'll try to trade up with the Niners or whoever, right? So that's how I look at it, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to it. Do you think Derek Carr likes it?
Do I think he does? Do I think he likes it? No, but I think that's good fucking motivation for him. Okay, nobody likes to fucking be told or questioned on whether or not they're the guy, right? Nobody wants to be questioned on whether or not they're the guy. Nobody wants to be told, oh yeah, they're looking at other guys that possibly to replace you, dog, right? Possibly to replace you. Nobody likes that, but it's fucking great motivation, and he should look at it that way. He shouldn't look at it from the standpoint of like, oh no, they don't appreciate me, that kind of bullshit. Yeah. Because if you're doing that, then you ain't the guy.
Yeah.
If you're doing that, then you ain't the guy.
It's like that first day the intern shows up, and you're like,
right,
the fuck you doing here?
Who the fuck are you, dog?
Management sent me. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, you just sit over there in the corner.
Yeah.
You know what? You need a coffee? Go get a coffee. That beverage run.
I'm good. I already had 2. I've been here.
That coffee hit. So yeah, I mean, Derek's got to be a little bit irked, but man, he's what, 28 years old now?
Yeah.
So
he's got to use it, dude. He's got to use it to his advantage. He's got to use it to power him through and actually do what we expect him to do, which is take a fucking giant leap forward this second season and make some shit happen so that question's not out there anymore.
What's Doug Martin doing right now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
They said he
Pumping iron?
They said he wanted too much money.
Okay.
Doug, you got a shot last year when nobody else wanted you.
This is true.
And now you're asking for more. Doug, get the entire fuck out of here. We don't need that kind of energy in the building.
You're going to be sad, dog. You're going to be sad when the season starts and you're not on anybody's team.
You just be over there playing with your little hamsters.
You could have you could have been on this team.
Driving your hamster wheel around town.
Yeah. And what did Le'Veon sign for? What did Le'Veon sign for? Because it wasn't that much. It wasn't what everybody was expecting either, right? It wasn't like this gigantic deal. So my question is how, like, what kind of crazy shit was the muscle hamster asking for?
Yeah, what did he get? He got 4 years, $52.5 million with a max value of $61 million. So
So that's the highest. That's the highest contract for a running back, right? Basically. Doug Martin, where do you see yourself from number 1 Le'Veon Bell to I don't know who's at the bottom of the chart.
I don't know. Hamster food ain't that expensive, dog. You know, and hamster wheels don't take no gas. So the upkeep there, it's minimal. It's minimal at best.
I'm just saying, man, work with us, dog.
Yeah.
Because nobody else wanted to work with you except us. You could have worked with us.
Just saying.
We actually like what you did, dog.
Yeah.
We actually like what you did.
I was over here saying it's going to be Doug Martin, and I'm just fine with that. And the rest of y'all better be happy about it. But as it turns out, we don't need to talk about that.
What do you think is a fair price, though? What would you say would have been the fair price for
Doug Martin?
For Doug Martin.
I probably would have. Dude, dog, I would have really lowballed him. I probably would have given him like $2 to $4 million per year.
That's actually probably like
that's pretty good.
Decent, dog.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Considering,
you know,
right?
I'd say like $2 million. $2 million per year. I would have given that.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, because he did well last year. He didn't do great. He did well.
No.
But $2 million per, I think would have been fair.
He didn't do anything to say like, oh, we got to pay this dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Scratch that 2 to 4. I'd say $2 to $3 million is what I would have given him. I think that's a fair price.
Okay.
And we got money in the bank right now.
Money in the bank.
I think we're sitting at like 28 mil or something like that, depending on what you're looking at. So it ain't over yet. It ain't over.
Yeah. Think about it, Doug. Think about it.
Cain says, hell to the no to Doug Martin.
Hell no to the no.
And last,
hell to the no.
last in the quick hits, Jack Del Rio. You know what, Jack? I see you.
We see you, Jack.
Save that for later. Save that for later.
Save it.
Let me tell you, Jack. What did he say about Antonio Brown? He's going to be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
In 2017, Jack Del Rio was a real pain in the ass.
Yeah, he was.
And you're looking real sucked up now, Jack. So we're going to talk about you later.
Oh, shit.
Because I know Cain wants to get in there, too.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to save that.
Oh, it's going to be good.
It's 8:05 right now in the Crow's Nest.
That's
8:05
right.
p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
That's right.
We got Scott coming on at 8:30, so we got some time to kill. So I think we're gonna pull an audible right now. We're gonna go to let's crank out some of these phone calls, man.
Oh shit,
we got a lot of them to get through. Best caller, by the way, this week. I said the best caller. I asked who's your number 4 pick, and you got to make a case for it. And I said the best caller with the draft pick would win the NFL draft shirt from DC4 Custom Tees. And here we go. We got like over a dozen phone calls. So we're going to smash through some of these, and then we'll take a break and we'll bring Scott Bair on here. But let's see. Watts is right. Jack Del Rio still getting paid. He's putting it all in his face. So let's see. Let's go to the 403 and see what we got.
What up, Kenny? What up, Che? It's your boy, Raider VC.
That's right. What's up, VC?
I don't have any football questions tonight. My question would be, if you guys had to go to karaoke and you had to sing a Milli Vanilli song, what would Chenny sing? That's my question. Love and respect, boy.
Well, I mean, you got to go with the hits, right? It's karaoke. It's 1 or 2 songs, in my opinion. It's either Blame It on the Rain or Girl, You Know It's True. I'm going to go with Blame It on the Rain, bro.
Man, I would have done Girl, You Know It's True.
So there you go.
Ooh, I love you.
So, you know, Chenny on the mic, you're going to get both hits. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
We got a call coming in right now. We got a call coming in.
First
right
one.
What's good? This is 831. This is 831. Who am I
To
talking
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail,
Come
press
on
2.
now.
What is
Come
this,
on
the
now.
county jail? Hello? You're on the air with the Pillaging Podcast.
No shit, am I? Who is it? Yo, I was trying to order a pizza. What's going on?
What's cracking? Are you calling from county again, or what's good, bro?
Yeah, guys. I'm actually on the side of the road. My horse broke down. I'm sure you've seen me, waiting right there, passing through Monterey Road. I was like,
Somebody
I was
pull
gonna be
over.
like, you know what? I need help.
You need to chase a
I need a
horseshoe.
pizza.
Damn. So what's good, Bobby, man? What's going on? What's going on?
Well, nothing much, man. I mean, fuck, I didn't even fucking pay attention to this. Like, who would you pick number 4? And I was like, you know what? Let me call in real quick because I left a voicemail last week, but I didn't leave one for the number 4 thing. So I was like, you know what? Let me just leave one right quick. Mm-hmm. And then you guys pull a second audible on me. It was crazy enough. You guys pulled the audible. You guys pulled a double audible, dude. I don't know what the hell was going on, dude. So props to you guys right there, dude. You guys just totally caught me on the unawares. I was about to go pee right now too.
Yeah, well, don't let me stop you, dog. Don't let me stop you.
Oh no, don't even trip. I already just went, dude. You know, I have one of Bobby Boy's pool bags right here, and you know, like that's how I record right here, man. See, that's the behind the scenes that no one ever sees, and especially after last time when I went over there to use your bathroom, and you know, there was nothing to wipe with, so I used one of your socks, and you know. We all know how the toilet backed up, you know. My bad, dude. You know, like I owe you. I still owe you on that.
Yeah, you're blowing out my American Standard appliances over here.
Hey, man, you know me, dude. I'm a country mouse, bro. I'm just used to going out in the sticks and just letting it where it goes, and just keep it strolling, bro. Yeah. Just like the animals, dude. Like in the zoo, you know, they just walk and dump and just keep it going. Someone's gonna take care of it. If not, someone will step on it and it'll make its way out of there. You know,
easy. Easy. By the way, those of you listening, this is Bobby Wasabi calling in from Wolfpack Nation.
Yeah.
Also a podcast on the Crow's Nest Podcast Network. If you haven't listened yet, make sure you check them out. It's a big gang of folks, man. Your roster is growing. You guys are about to break off, start your own network. You got a lot of faces over there.
Yeah.
Gang. That's how it is, man. That's how Wolfpack rolls, bro. You know, it's like the Wu-Tang, dude. You know, we got like 40 million fucking members and shit, dude. And they all got different names, dude. That's how we roll, man. But back to my number 4.
Yeah.
It's real easy. It's me. I'm the number 4. Me with the purple reins right there, dog. DC was talking about, you know, your favorite Milli Vanilli, Cheney's all-time favorite hits. Well, it's me. I'm number 4, dude. That's all I was gonna say.
Them purple pants coming to the stage.
Purple reins, man.
You have to get you a special purple reins draft.
You know, you're gonna have to wear those. You're gonna have to wear those motherfuckers to the stadium now, right? Now you got to show up at the tailgate.
Know that's happening. You know that's going to happen. I'm going to go over there, make a special guest appearance,
there you
and
go.
try to, make it, kick a couple, balls around, surprise some people or whatever, you know?
That's Purple Rain spelled REIGN.
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
Make sure you bring a sewing kit because when you split them bitches, I don't want to see shit.
Yo, dude, it's like a kilt, bro. There's nothing that rolls under them purple rains. Like it's just me and the Lord, bro.
Yeah. Bobby, man.
That's what it's all about.
Bobby, thanks for calling in, man. I know you didn't expect to be live on air, but you are, and you're here now, and we appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, one more thing, too. I was going to actually leave one question to you guys is, you know how this is the 100th? Happy birthday, by the way, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And to Cain as well.
Thank you.
Happy birthdays. Are y'all gonna have like a special little like thing or something like on the app? You know, because I still, I'm still listening to the old shows on that app right there, man. Back when you guys were trying to be, good fucking citizens and shit, and, trying to not curse so much. That was crazy, man. But like, is anything going up on that app, man?
No.
No.
But you're
straightforward.
Simple answer.
But you're here, and that's special.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's real special.
You know what? That's right, dude. I'm the app that it comes to the fucking YouTube chat, and that's just where it's at.
Ta-da. How you like me now?
Bobby, man.
How you like me now?
Bobby, hang loose, brother. We're going to see you out there. Well, we're going to see you before then, but we're going to see you out there at that A-Lot special.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right, fellas. I'll definitely see y'all there. And anyone else that want to roll through, I'll definitely fucking have a cello with y'all too, man.
Yeah.
For real. Bobby, stay up, brother. And we'll talk to you real soon, dog.
Yeah, brother.
All right, for sure, gentlemen. Y'all keep doing it. Congratulations. And thanks for fucking tripping me the fuck out.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Peace out, brother.
Later, y'all.
Peace. Have that effect on people.
That was good.
Yeah, I was not stalling Vince with that answer. We thought about what can we do special, but you know what? We feel like the show is good the way it is. And
this is it.
100 episodes. We're just happy to be here. And introducing the new live call-in segment. So how about that?
Yeah, how about that?
This is from the 760. You already know who this is.
What up, guys? It's WAP. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better. I'll try to speak more concise and clear as I can. Let's hold a moment of silence for dear Seth Roberts. He finally made it off the fucking team. My lord. That guy was like Cersei Lannister. Just every single season I thought he was going to get off. Nope. He's finally gone. Thank God, overpaid blocker at best. King of the fucking dropsies. I mean, I could go on and rant about Seth Roberts. Great 2016 team. Awesome. Left a lot on the field. Dropped a lot on the field. Had that really good game against the Buccaneers. That walk-off, that was amazing. I'm just glad he's off. God dang. That was that's a blessing in disguise right there. Excuse me, I'll take a drag on a green cigarette here. What else is good? I'm not too impressed with that running back. Crowell, whatever his last name is, he looks alright. I'm just not impressed. I think we should do better. I don't know. Just my opinion. Other than that, fuck, man, the draft can't come faster. I can't wait to just see everyone's face drop when they figure out who the hell we pick, because I feel it's going to be some crazy ass shit like it was last year. Everyone thinking we're going to get Saquon Barkley or something, or all of a sudden, or Denzel Ward and Colton Miller. It's just, oh God, please don't do that to us. Just pick a good one. Hopefully, Mayock, he kind of puts Gruden in check a little bit. And all this fucking bullshit about Derek Carr not being our quarterback. Please. I mean, come on, who's better than him right now? I mean, other than Mahomes. There's a few, but I mean, Ryan Tannehill? Come on. Baker Mayfield? I'm not impressed, and I think they're just overhyping that dude. He leaves a lot to be desired as well. But that's all I gotta say. You guys have a good one. Also, I'm not a big cellar drinker, and if I do drink a beer, I want something nice, like an Asahi. You guys drinking IPAs? You want to get hammered fast and for it to taste like shit, just drink an IPA. I don't like that shit. I'd rather just drink whiskey straight. That's my drink. That's what I like to drink. You guys have a good one. Wapo up.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Wap. Strong call. Hey, man, pump the brakes on Crowell. I think it's going to be a lot better than you think it is. I think Crowell, being with the Browns, being with the Jets, to inferior lines, inferior offenses, teams that were behind early and often. I think Crowell's going to do a little something special here this season in 2019 with the Raiders. I don't think he's the game changer. He's not going to lead the league in rushing, anything like that. I think Crowell's going to fit in really nicely, though, with John's system. I think you'll be surprised. He can catch the ball. He's not the greatest pass catcher, but he's shifty. He's strong. Watch out for him. And as far as drinking goes, WAP, I'm a whiskey guy, numero uno. That's my drink. And Che, man, he's brought me over to the dark side, the IPA side.
That's right.
You just got to keep drinking them until finally you get it.
Man. You get it. It's an acquired taste, dog.
Whoever called in from the 203, I apologize. We're in the middle of another call. Had to hang up.
But call back.
Call back, dog. Let's go to the 202 right here.
Yeah, what's going on, Pillaging People? Buddy JFB chiming in.
Ooh.
Shout out to Kenny, Che, everyone doing their thing. Great podcast as of late. Shout out to the production crew, which is probably the liquor store dude selling those sellouts.
That's right.
And me, I'm the production crew. It's me.
Hey, we all do a little.
That's true. That's true. Che's on that video now.
Doing a little production now.
Che's the video guy.
Yeah. But your boy Kenny he's still the captain of the ship, dog.
I do a lot of work here.
He's
in
the
the
cat.
nest. That's true.
You're fucking right.
That's true. But it takes a village, bro.
It's true.
It takes a village to pillage.
Well, we're building one, dog. Just look at the Crow's Nest Podcast Network, dog. We're building a fucking village.
We're building a fucking bully over here.
There you
go. Necessary element. So, last year, I called in, gave the Herschel Walker analogy in regards to what was about to happen, which is that Mac was about to ball out, much like Herschel Walker did when he went to the Vikings, and we were going to be shit. And we were. Cowboys went 1-15. Thankfully, it wasn't that fucking bad, but it wasn't all that much better. But that whole shit flips on its head this year, fellas. we got AB. Antonio Brown, week in and week out, is arguably the best fucking football player on the field at any position. This dude's going to be amazing this year. Put it on the scoreboard. 110, 1,800, 14. That's what AB is going to do this year, because this is how it goes. And then Mac and these other dudes, Cooper, Amari, these dudes are going to fall off. Listen, when they get traded, they get a little fire in their ass. They feel a little chip on their shoulder. They feel slighted. They're going to go show out. And then they get their contract, and they get paid, and then they're kind of chill. Not quite as angry. I don't think Mac's going to play 16 games this year. The Bears are going to stink. Mitchell Trubisky and this 50s offense, fuck that. We're going to be picking in the top 10 with that pick next year. Put that on the fucking scoreboard, too. So,
I like it.
We got some things to watch for. If this organization wasn't such a shit show at times, we really think we might have something. But I think we're going to be significantly better. We're going to have all this trade momentum and mojo and history on our side. Go fucking get them. Win the division. Raiders.
Wow, man. For JFB to come with some positivity, I've known this cat for a while now. Known this cat for almost a decade now, at least on the message board. Mm-hmm. Met him in person quite a few times. Shared many chelas and whiskeys.
Oh, yeah.
The positivity coming out of JFB is a rare thing. So when he speaks, listen, he's got a lot of hot takes. He doesn't always land, but when he lands big. He's a gambling man. And so rack that call. Put that call on the board as a contender for the T-shirt this week. I know it's not a draft call, but it's a solid call.
No, that's a good call.
That's a good call. JFB, call in more, man. I know you don't want to wear out your welcome. I know JFB every week becomes less special. I'm not saying that. Just call in more often.
There you go.
We look forward to that. 303.
Kenny, Jay.
Yeah.
Cain. It's Saturday and it's your boy, the 3 Raider. Calling you from, incredibly sunny and warm Denver, Colorado. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I just got done with the lifting sesh. Had to call you guys.
Oh, shit.
About this whole Derek Carr thing, so I'm starting to get a little irritated. But anyways, man, opening day was yesterday. Downtown Denver is lit. Everyone's wasted, and the girls are looking hot. Anyways, let's get to this. We're not drafting a quarterback before. Ain't going to happen. Good Lord, poor Derek Carr. Is there any other quarterback that you know of that has this much potential that's worked in a more dysfunctional organization? Good Lord, the guy's only had 4 head coaches in 5 years. There's only been twice in his career. This will be the second time this season where he's had continuity at head coach and OC. And the first time that happened, it was the 2016 season where he went into his second year with JDR and Musgrave. So, my goodness, this guy has had every year horrible defense. Mm-hmm. He's had... In 2015, 2014 was just a shit show, but 2015, the guy had 32 touchdowns and 13 interceptions and about a 90 passer rating. In 2016, he had 28-6. Then we know he broke his leg. 2017, 2 broken backs. JDR brought in Marshawn Lynch, changed the whole offensive blocking scheme. Everyone wanted Musgrave. That was a shit show. And then 2018 was another disaster where he had literally no offensive line, the most sacks in his career, and he was throwing to Marcel Aitman and Seth Roberts and old man Jordy Nelson. Give this kid a break. Yeah. Now, are there legitimate concerns? Sure. We know that he can get skittish, and we know that he can lock on to his wide receivers at times. Well, of course he's going to do that when he has the worst offensive line in the history of the NFL and no running game. He's literally only had a decent running game, once in his career, which is 2016. No, Carr's not Aaron Rodgers, and he's not some of these other quarterbacks. But you tell me one other top-flight quarterback. I'm talking about Rodgers, Breeze, Brady, Russell Wilson, and Big Ben. What have all of those quarterbacks had in their career? Continuity. Mm-hmm. They basically have the same freaking head coach and probably the same system. The other thing each one of those quarterbacks has had is good to great defenses. So everyone needs to shut the fuck up. Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback this year, and I'm going to be on point here. If he struggles, and it looks like he has a good surrounding cast, his O-line is blocking for him, we finally have a decent running game, and of course we have AB and Terrell Williams, and probably pick up a tight end. If he's shit in the bed around that cast, sure, then we can draft a quarterback in 2020, and his ass is on notice. But my goodness, Derek Carr is going to be our quarterback. I have zero issues about it. Get behind number 4, shut the fuck up, and go Raiders. This is 303, and I'm out.
Fire.
for that ass.
How many times did he tell us to shut the fuck up?
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
It's a good call, 303.
That was a good call, man.
It's a fucking real good call, dog.
I know it's a ways away, but I feel like we're getting closer to the season when we hear 303's voice.
Yeah.
So it's a welcome voice to hear.
Yeah.
This is an international phone call, so we better get to it. Get to it.
What's up, guys? How you doing? It's Harry here.
What's up, Harry?
Just to leave my thoughts about the fourth pick in the draft. Again, I know fuck all about this in terms of what we're doing, so take my views with a pinch of salt. But I think at 4 we should probably, if they're available, either take, not that I've seen too much of him to be honest, but Bosa or Quinn and Williams. I really like at 4, but I don't know if they're going to be there. I think if those two are gone, I don't know if there's any other edge rushers which I'd take at that position. Maybe we should try and trade down and then take Ed Oliver or something later on. I think that's probably what I'd want to do, but as I said, I don't know shit, so I guess we'll find out. I hope you guys have a great evening, and yeah, let's go Raiders.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean that's a good take. You know, I mean, I think Bosa and Williams are the two guys there at 4 that everyone's looking at, right? Mm-hmm. Ed Oliver on the trade back, depending on how long he lasts. You never know. Ed Oliver was a big name going into this draft a couple months ago, and you haven't heard too much about him since. So, NFL draft is a weird thing. It's really about the media. The media drives this. How much does the media drive this? Do you think?
A lot, dog. As soon as they latch onto a name and they start pushing them, the stock starts to rise. Mm-hmm. But if you talk to some of the people that we know that really, really look into draft and players, I've heard some really good stuff about Oliver. So I'm not surprised to hear that Ed Oliver talk, just last week, right? When we talking about that?
Yeah.
We were just talking about that, and we were talking about, like, how high do you take Ed Oliver then?
Yeah.
Do you take him at 4? Is he that? Are you willing to take him at 4? Do you trade down to take him?
Yeah.
So the guy, he's being painted and he's being described as, kind of Aaron Donald type, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody's saying that he is Aaron Donald. Nobody's saying that he's got the production of Aaron Donald, but he's that kind of a player, right? So as far as his size, his strength, his burst, his get off, that's how he looks, and a lot of people are on him, man. And I've seen some of it. I had to, right? You got to go check that out when you start hearing the name pop up over and over again. And he's impressive, man. He's impressive. But there's a lot of motherfuckers that are impressive, so it's not an easy thing to just decipher and say, like, this is the guy you take.
Yeah, Eddie Borsilli was the one pining for him. He
That's
said
right.
He's most intriguing player in this year's draft. So I'm glad to see Ed Oliver's name popping up again. He was like the first guy I really was diving into when I was doing my draft research.
Yeah.
So we'll see, man. We will see. Good call, Harry. Appreciate you guys calling in from overseas. I know that's not a cheap phone call for you guys. It is now 8:26 in the Crow's Nest. We got Scott Bair lined up at 8:30. So I think what we're going to do right now is take a short break and get him on the line, and we'll come back right after this.
Yeah, boy.
Quick message.
I am NBC Sports Raiders insider Scott Bair, and you're listening to the Pillaging Podcast.
And we're back from the break, and joining us right now is Raiders insider Scott Bair. Scott, how you doing, man? It's been a while since we talked to you. Let our listeners know what you've been up to and where they can find you online.
Well, you can find me on every social media platform known to mankind, although, to be honest with you, I cannot figure out Snapchat. That's my sign that I'm officially old. But everywhere else, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at BAIR, that's Bair, NBCS. And, man, I've just been doing a lot of, kind of cool and interesting work. Obviously, you hit all the off-season staples like the Senior Bowl, NFL Combine, and the NFL owners meetings. But me and my coworker have been working on these really long-form draft features. They're, 3,000-4,000 words. Big features that start rolling out the week of April 15th.
Oh, wow.
Nick Bosa is the first one. I have Rashawn Gary next Thursday, and the week after that, I have Quinnen Williams and he has Josh Allen, and it's been pretty fun to dive headfirst into these guys' personal lives, really get to know them and write some pretty cool stories about guys who could very well end up Raiders on draft night.
Definitely. Those are some interesting names to start with, too. Bosa and Gary, two interesting guys, both on the field and personality-wise. So looking forward to diving into that stuff. Scott, your work is always great. For us, we're just flattered to have somebody that's on television. You're bringing some legitimacy to our show, Scott. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
I'm not sure if I'm bringing it up or I'm bringing it down. I can tell you what, my wife's pretty sick of seeing me on TV, though. She just changes the channel, be like, do I have the Warriors score? Okay, cool, I'm out of here. No more commercials with that guy.
If you're bringing us up or bringing us down, Scott, did you listen to the beginning of the show? You're bringing us up. You're classing up the joint, Scott.
All right. I like it. That's what I try to do. Now I'll try not to ruin, all the positive momentum here and track it down with bad dad jokes and terrible humor.
We welcome that. We welcome that. Last time I spoke to you, Scott, it was just you and I one-on-one. I got one of my co-hosts here. I got Che. Say Che.
Yeah, how you doing, Scott?
What's going on, man? Just stoked to be talking Raider football. It's just crazy. The off-season program starts on April 15th, and it's going to be draft. It's going to be OTAs, bing, bang, bang. Next thing you know, it's training camp and all the optimism that comes with it.
That's
awesome.
It's about to get rolling here real quick, so let's dive into it. This is, I believe, your 7th year now covering the Raiders. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I moved up to the Bay Area, young spring chicken, and now I'm dangerously close to 40. It's amazing how quick that happens, but it's been really fun. And like I say, every time I get a chance to really interact with Raiders fans, whether it's at Oakland Coliseum or on the road, or that's why I love coming on podcasts like this, because I'm speaking to fans who speak directly to fans. Like, I understand what you guys are talking about, and you guys are so passionate and so knowledgeable that it's really been a fun 6 season so far. Looking forward to lucky number 7.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. And speaking of fans and knowing what they're talking about, we're not talking about Che and myself, obviously, but the people that listen to the show, you've agreed to do the 2-minute drill here later on.
Oh yeah,
and we've had listeners come on, we've had reporters come on, and so far I don't think we've had a reporter break 10 correct answers out of 20, but we've had some of our listeners crack 13.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at you, Scott.
Okay,
you got to hold it down.
All right, so if you hear any, subtle tapping, that's definitely not me typing information into a search engine. Absolutely not. But as a matter of fact, you will know that it's honest because I'm stuck on my porch right now because my 3-year-old is blaring Paw Patrol at maximum volume. So there are no computers. This is an honest, legitimate contest. Yeah. There's nothing fishy going on.
All right.
That's what's up.
Shout out to Daddy Mark. Daddy Mark.
Yeah.
Daddy Mark.
It's in your brain forever.
So in the 7 years that you've spent with this team, you've seen a lot of change. I believe you came in at the edge of the Tom Cable era, the Hugh Jackson era, the Dennis Allen era. Now the John Gruden era, and who we had before that, Jack Del Rio era. You've seen a lot come and go. So in your time covering the Raiders, what's different, man? What's changed between the time that you got here and now? What are you seeing, if anything, that's different in the organization?
I think that I cut out on you there for a second, but I think what you're asking is just like, what's the difference between the first regime and this one? Is that kind of where we are?
Yeah, from 09 to now. Okay. Like, what's changed?
Yeah, well, I mean, quite a bit, definitely. And I really think that each one of the regimes that I've covered have been unique. And, I came in, I never had the pleasure and honor of meeting Al Davis or maybe getting yelled at him in a press conference, which I think is a rite of passage. But I did know Reggie McKenzie pretty well, and Jack Del Rio and Dennis Allen, all the way up to John Gruden and Mike Mayock. And I think that there's a decided shift here. And I think that ultimately we're going to find out if John Gruden works out, if he can win a bunch of football games and things like that. But things have made a distinct turn. And I think last year we saw so much of the fact that John Gruden and Reggie McKenzie are friends. They are still friends. I was in a Southwest airport gate. They were both there. They were both cordial enough to get by. Obviously, they're, not thrilled that things didn't work out. But those guys rev at different RPMs, right? I mean, if we're going to use an old fable, Reggie is the tortoise, John is the hare, right? They both cross the finish line, and they're both good racers, and you never know who's going to win, right? But they operate at different RPMs. Now, John Gruden and Mike Mayock rev at the same engine. They're both, they're both Yamaha motorcycles. They're both street bikes, and they're constantly going. And I think that it's good that John found somebody who is in lockstep with him. And I think Mike Mayock is offering a level of discipline to this that is going to be important, because I think last time I was on, I don't know how many times I brought up Khalil Mack's name, right? And how I didn't like the trade, and how they shipped a bunch of stuff off for nothing in return for 2018, right? Well, that's past, right? We can no longer, that is a transaction that is done and moved on, and now we're dealing with the separate part of it. We're dealing with all the dividends, right? Now is what Gruden has been waiting for, was this offseason. So it has been different. There was a linear power structure before. Just real quick, it was Mark Davis, it was Reggie McKenzie, and then it was whichever head coach was down there. Okay. There was a clear pattern, up and down, right? Now it's not really like that. Now, Mark Davis will have you believe he gets involved in zero football decisions. He offers them input, lets his guys do his work. Not exactly. He's more involved than you would think, but John Gruden is the football czar in the Bill Belichick, Bill Parcells vein, right? Guys that we really don't see very often. And Mike Mayock is there as a right-hand man. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, John Gruden has the final say. But Mike Mayock, I think, has done a really good job of infusing a level of discipline into this offseason that wasn't there last year. Last year, I think it was too much reaching for need in the draft, especially and in free agency. We've seen a lot more discipline, a lot better use of their money, a very smart execution of the Antonio Brown trade. And I think that those two things, John Gruden can coach, man. There's no doubting him and a whiteboard and a dry erase marker and X's and O's. He's got it, right? And he has the vision for players that he wants. I think Mike Mayock can help him get those players without sacrificing anything great like we criticized for him so much before. I also think we're going to have a level of continuity that we haven't seen for a while. I think this is the group, so it's time to get used to them and get on board and understand what they're doing and cover the way that they want to run a football team, as opposed to saying what's right or wrong about it, just evaluating what they do and whether we think it's ultimately going to work.
Fair enough. Crystal clear.
Yeah.
Crystal clear. I like the way you answered that. And that's why you're here, Scott.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yes, right.
The last time
dropping
you were
knowledge,
dropping facts,
big facts.
The last time you were on the show, Scott, was last September. It was on the eve of opening night against the LA Rams. At that time, we were talking. We were making some predictions, and you had expected 7 wins. You expected a potent offense, and I'm not putting you on blast. You weren't the only one feeling that way. Unfortunately, the Raiders, they didn't deliver. Right. So does that affect your outlook on this season, or do you think it was all a part of the process?
I think that the offense wasn't as good as we had expected. The offensive line wasn't good when I said it was going to be good, right? But losing Donald Penn hurt, losing Amari Cooper, and pretty much every a receiver who could run faster than my kid in there, really, really hurt him. And I think ultimately, trust me, I'm not standing by the fact, I was right back then. No, let's go back and say that offense wasn't potent at all. It needed a lot of work. And 7 wins, maybe was a little reaching considering that Khalil Mack had already been gone. And we really saw, from week 2, week 3 on, how that thing really, really devolved last year. Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily what had to happen. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure it did. But again, this isn't me relitigating Mack and Cooper trades, right? It's trying to look at what they spent their money on. I think they did a good job in free agency, and I think that getting Antonio Brown shifted their mindset because they planned on going big on some younger guys. but they didn't plan on spending $50 million over the next 3 years on a number one wide receiver. And I think that impacted how they went through free agency. Ultimately, I think maybe they put their foot on the gas a little bit harder this offseason than they had originally planned to do. And I don't think that's a bad thing. If they could try to expedite this rebuild, they might as well go for it. And the beauty of it is, for all these guys that have been added, Trent Brown, Tyrell Williams, LaMarcus Joyner, are the big name guys. They can get out of all those deals after the 2020 season. And that is a good thing, because if they don't work out, we know lots of free agents don't. You can cut bait relatively quickly, and I think that is a good thing, that you're not saddling yourself with major ramifications of free agent mistakes. So that, I think, is good. I think they're going to be better. I think Antonio Brown is still as legit as you get. The guy's a hard worker. Tyrell Williams, a very good player. I think they're going to add some more firepower in the offense and in the early rounds, much to Paul Gunder's chagrin. I think they will be better. I don't think they had to be that bad last year, right? But I think if we're just talking about this year, I am optimistic that we will see improvement. And frankly, if we don't see improvement with Antonio Brown in the pattern and Tyrell Williams, right, and on and on and on, and Ryan Clark, right? If we don't
Grant.
see
Ryan
improvement,
Grant.
Ryan Grant. Yeah, if we don't see improvement with all those guys, then we got a problem, and it probably starts under center.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think when we were talking last year, the line looked good. And I think that's the key to the whole thing, right? You touched on the line fell apart. Cooper gets traded. Jordy showing his age. The wide receiver core getting decimated and getting, like you said, now you're passing to Marcel Aitman and Seth Roberts, and you're under pressure every single snap. I think that's what it led to. But obviously things didn't go as planned. 4 wins took the wind out of everybody's sails. And a losing season tends to provoke conspiracy theories amongst Raider Nation. Always with the conspiracy theories. As a guy who gets to see the locker room and has his finger on the pulse of the team, what happened last year outside of all that? I think you've already answered this, but was this a tank job, or was this a series of unfortunate events? What really happened last year for the Raiders?
I think it's when you trade Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper and get nothing for that particular team, it's turning it in your chips, right? And whatever. If you're tanking with the capital T, fine. I can understand why John Gruden works 80 hours a week, and he doesn't do that to lose the following Sunday. Players don't put their body on the line and their heads and limbs and joints are at risk to lose football games. So those guys aren't tanking. But if you are not giving people if you don't have the talent to succeed every week, sometimes you can expect those types of results. But ultimately, it was all to gain this level of draft capital. But I can tell you who doesn't care about all the first-round draft picks that the Raiders have. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie doesn't care. Derek Johnson didn't care, right? Martavis Bryant, right? The list goes on and on of Reggie Nelson, right? Guys who are in charge of making the 2018 Raiders good, that were veterans maybe on their last couple chances, that all of a sudden, the thought in training camp was, among the defenders, Bruce Irvin included, that, hey, man, the cavalry's coming. Eventually, we're going to get Khalil Mack back, and we're going to get our swagger. We're going to get a Defensive Player of the Year. We're going to get back on the horse, and we're going to run over some fools, right? Well, that didn't happen. And what in the locker room, I don't care if you're a pro and you got 2 commas in your paycheck, it's a letdown, right? And then eventually, you started seeing some of those veterans that are named DRC, Derek Johnson, they started cutting bait, right? And Bruce Irvin, God bless him, wanted to be traded at the deadline and then ultimately was allowed to move on, right? And throughout the middle of that season, when the handwriting was on the wall, not saying that veterans universally checked out, but they were disappointed and clearly that their morale was down. You look at a guy like Rashawn Melvin. That was his bad year, right? And then he's the number 3 cornerback without an opportunity to get what he believes is fair market value next year. He's disappointed. When those veterans are disappointed, it permeates and it pushes you down, and maybe you aren't a 10-win team, but I don't think that was a 4-win team as originally constructed either. And I think that it became 4 because of everything that I just said. And that 49ers game on Thursday Night Football in the freaking market was rock bottom, right? And then slowly, I think that's when the coaches and players understood, hey, man, it's time to turn it around and try to improve in little bits and pieces, and that's why I think there was some positive momentum to be gleaned from the end of last year heading into this one. Some younger guys got a chance to play, guys who are still on this roster, guys who are encouraged about what we see in 2019.
Yeah, guys that still have irons in the fire, right? I think that's you handled that with a really deft approach. I mean, with kid gloves, very delicate answer there, but an appropriate answer. A direct answer, a precise answer. There's no one sweeping solution to that question, but it was a tough one, and I think you handled it well. It seems like it's a little bit of both, and it makes a lot of sense what you're saying about veteran players. But what I'm getting from you is that the organization never intended to tank, but when you got guys that are on there that may not be around until next year, and you take the wind out of the sails, you pop the balloon, what's their momentum? What's their motivation? What do they have to gain out of it? Very little. So they're cutting bait. Yeah. They're saving their body. They're looking at the rest of their career. And then at the end of the season, you start to see a little bit more morale. You see a little bit more momentum. And why? Because you got younger players that are starting to get in there that they're actually fighting for a roster spot anywhere. Yeah. Right. Whether it's here or somewhere else. Right. So that makes sense.
Right.
Great answer. So let's move it on a little bit here. Antonio Brown aside, what's your favorite free agent signing in this offseason?
That's a good question. I really like the LaMarcus Joyner signing because he can do a little bit of everything. He's going to play some safety. He's going to play a lot of slot corner, and he's sort of what I'll call a billionaire's Marcus Gilchrist, right? That Marcus Gilchrist was versatile and could do a bunch of the stuff that I'm talking about right now, and didn't really help them very much. And I've known Marcus since he was a rookie, and I like the guy. But I think you understand what I'm saying, right? That I think that LaMarcus can do all those things, can make the entire secondary better. And if you're hurt at one spot, he can fill in. If you're loaded, if you get I don't know, Taylor Rapp, right, in the second round, or Darnell Savage, love that dude, then he can take more cornerback responsibilities. He's that Swiss Army knife that you need in the back end. He's definitely my favorite.
I like that. I like Joyner too. I mean, the versatility there, it's insane. Yeah. What he can bring to this squad, and especially in a secondary that's just been struggling for decades now, right? Especially at the safety position. So moving forward, the Crowell signing, right? Isaiah Crowell comes to the Raiders. A lot of mixed feelings around him. I happen to like the guy. I think him getting a shot in Oakland is going to fare well for him. He was on the Browns. He was on the Jets. He was on the Browns before their turnaround or supposed turnaround. We'll see in 2019 if that's a real thing or not. But now he comes to the Oakland Raiders, a team that's reloaded on offense here in the offseason. They look like they've patched back together their line. They got other threats in the wide receiver core. They're going to add on to that in the draft. Crowell comes in. He's got big shoes to fill. But does the signing of Crowell, and I'm asking you this, not so much for myself or Che, but for a lot of our listeners who continue to, some of them think that Lynch is still on our team. He's not as a free agent. But does the Crowell signing basically spell the end of Marshawn Lynch?
It doesn't spell the end, right? But I think whether that signing had come or not, I think it spells the end of Doug Martin for certain, right?
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to Marshawn Lynch, the reason why I won't shut the door all the way, despite the fact that he's healthy, right? I know for a fact that he's healthy. Very good source on that. And he's open to the idea of playing in his hometown for the last year, right? So with those things in mind, and he's still not signed, and they still haven't necessarily worked something out, they're waiting till after the draft. And this is a tough way to look at Marshawn Lynch, in my opinion. But if they go out and they draft Josh Jacobs, right, or Damian Harris early, and they have Crowell and Richard and Chris Harris Chris Harris,
Chris Warren. Yeah.
Sorry. Guys that they're excited about, then that slams the door, right? And they're waiting until after the draft because they want to see what they have in the draft. Because their ultimate goal with all these signings that we're talking about is so they aren't sitting at a certain number saying, we have to take a running back here or we're effed, right?
Yeah.
That's not what they want to do. So, Marshawn Lynch is better than a fail-safe. He's better than break glass in case of emergency.
Sure.
And I think that the reason why, and that's sort of the way it's been going here, and I don't like it. Not like Marshawn, I don't know, maybe he knows my name, I don't know, but so I don't have any personal allegiance to him. I just feel that a guy that does as much for the NFL with the way he plays and as much for the East Bay as he's done with his charitable organizations across Oakland and everywhere else deserves a little bit better, right? As opposed to, we'll see what happens, dude. That's sort of my take on it. Now, Mark Davis, the owner, and John Gruden are big Marshawn guys, right? So that's why maybe Mark pulls a lever. Maybe John Gruden says, look, we're going to make this work with this guy. Mike Mayock doesn't have any allegiance. He didn't have any allegiance to Jordy Nelson or a lot of other guys that he doesn't know personally. And he's really, at this point, he hasn't met any of these players yet. He's seeing lots of facts and figures and bottom lines and black and white evaluation, which isn't a bad thing, right? But that's why I would say the door is cracked, but the door's not really all that far open either.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Every year, Raider Nation's left scratching their head over at least one draft pick. Now, things have changed. Mike Mayock's in the building, but I feel like that's not going to change everything. So give me one guy, Scott, who could be the major head scratcher in this year's draft.
The major head scratcher, it's funny. We were just talking about that. Of course, it always depends upon where they're taken, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just going to go with the first rounder here, and who knows, maybe when we talk in November or something, you guys can laugh at me for this, right? But I think DK Metcalf has bust written all over him.
Same.
And he can run real fast, and he's a combine warrior, and he's like 0.5% body fat, and he looks like the Incredible Hulk, has been working out really hard. But I just feel like the more people that I talk to about it, his route tree's sort of limited, right? He's going to get taken pretty high, and you sort of wonder, is a guy like that worth it when, I don't know, I think that Hollywood Brown, even at $166, is just, I don't know, a guy like that is fun, right? He's Tyreek Hill reincarnate. Or you look at some other options that you may have down in the draft, the Arizona State kid, Harry, so I guess the one that I would be worried about is if the Raiders maybe traded up into the late teens to get DK Metcalf. That's not something that I anticipate given their receiver depth chart.
Yeah.
But it's always something that's an issue. And since I mentioned I've done a lot of work on Rashawn Gary, right? Fans are scared of him because they look at his box score.
Yeah.
He's got 9.5 sacks at Michigan. And this guy was the number one recruit from the time he was 13 forward. Okay? He is a physical freak. He's faster and more agile than you. He's bigger and meaner than you. But why can't he find the football, right? And that's going to drive some people nuts, although he's a great fit for Paul Guenther's scheme, right? So that's why I think that there is some mystery around that. Take him at 4, I think that's a reach. But if you move down, I think there's a lot of buzz potential around him from some people. I'm not one of those guys. I think if he gets in the right scheme with the right coach and they say, hey, man, you're going to play the run. We're cool with you getting 5-6 sacks per year, do your thing, be a complete 3-down player, we can deal with that. Some fans might not like that. They may see that as bust written all over it if you take a guy in the top 10 and he's not getting you 12 sacks per season.
Yeah. Now, Mike in his presser earlier this week, he mentioned, the large gap that we have between pick 36 and pick 105, and he really likes that bunch in every draft, right? So I don't think that the Raiders particularly trade back out of 4. I think it wouldn't be unlikely for them to trade back out of 24, 27, or even possibly 35. However, what I want to ask you is, who has to be gone at number 4 for you to trade back out of 4?
Yeah, Bosa's got to be gone. He's on. Well, I don't know where they put their quarterbacks. Nobody does, right? But as far as I know, Nick Bosa is on the top of the draft board. He's ideal, checks every box, right? So that's the guy that would have to be gone. In my opinion, I think Quinnen Williams has to be gone also. He's not a positional need, but the guy's an absolute freak in terms of what he's able to do. He's only been playing interior defensive line for a year, right? And he's doing this. Yeah. And he's guys, okay, look, I'm biased. I met his grandmother, okay? So I have a certain affinity for the guy. He is a genuinely down-to-earth person that a lot of people are going to like. At Alabama, he hates this nickname, but they call him the 300-pound bar of soap because he's just slippery. That he's not going to push you over, but he's going to get by you, right? So I think that both of those guys have to be gone. And if those guys are gone, and maybe Kyler Murray is gone too, I think then anything's possible. Josh Allen, to be honest with you, I don't have a great feel for what they think of him, and maybe if they're going to where they would plug him in. But I think Bosa and Williams gone. I think you almost got to trade out because there's a bunch of other edge rushers there that are kind of cool, right? That maybe you could get at, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 9, and maybe pick up an extra pick, and why the heck not?
300-pound bar of soap. Raider Nation, you've been put on notice. If Quinnen Williams is the pick at 4, I want to see everybody opening day with soap on a robe hanging around your neck.
That would be so funny.
And don't you drop that shit.
I will give you guys credit every tweet that I have if people start throwing around bars of soap. That's terrific.
Don't throw them on the field now.
Yeah, don't drop that shit.
Soap on a rope around the neck.
Don't drop that shit.
That's what I want to do.
And don't hit nobody.
Some player out there is going to have a 24-karat gold-plated bar soap, too. Some player out there is going to be flossing.
It better be Quinnen Williams, Doug.
Scott, I hate to bring this up, but I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now. We covered this the last time you were on the show, and I thought we buried this, and it was dead and gone because I feel for you. But the chat wants to know, are you still wearing blue ties on the broadcast?
Yeah, dude, that's never going to die. Never going to die. And I think I told the story last time, so I won't get all the way into it. But somebody went on YouTube and was like, that guy's a closet Charger fan. He's wearing a blue tie. And then, my brother-in-law told my wife, okay, I'm not sure if his ego's going to take it, but there's a YouTube out there called F. Scott Bair. Is he going to be able to handle that? And I'm like, yeah, man, I got freaking knight's armor on. I'm used to getting hate. I'm cool with it. But yeah, so no, I don't have any more baby blue ties. Here is the craziest part about that, right? That I haven't told anybody. This is a real non sequitur. But that baby blue tie that I wore that got me in trouble that one time, I got it as a present or something, right? And I looked at it the other day because I don't wear it anymore because I'm tired of being on YouTube. It's a Donald Trump tie. It's like Donald Trump's clothing line. So I definitely can't wear it now, right? No matter what that guy on YouTube thought, I got to burn it. So, yeah, so that's sitting in the back of the closet forever. That's never coming back out.
I'll tell you what, though, Scott. If you take a video of that and put that on YouTube, you put a video of you burning that tie, that shit might hit 1 trillion fucking views, man.
Yeah, man. Wow, that is a heavy tie. That might be the heaviest tie you've ever worn in your life. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, around my neck, dragging me down.
Scott, man, I'm really glad you came on, and I'm really glad that you agreed to do this 2-minute drill.
Oh boy, live.
It's a time on the show where we like to crank things up a notch.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So let me break this down to you because I wasn't completely honest when I spoke to you earlier. Pretty honest. 20 questions. The name is misleading. There is no time limit. It's 20 questions. But if you do stall, I will call you out.
Yes, you will.
10 of these questions, every other question you get is going to be a Raiders question. 8 of these questions are going to be divided into 2 categories, which you chose. You chose Marvel movies and Seinfeld, which I appreciate. And you being very specific is good for you.
Absolutely.
And then the last two questions are going to be completely random. That's the part I lied about. I didn't tell you about the random questions.
Okay. Oh boy.
But
I'm more worried about these Raiders questions. All right. Mark Salin. Got it. I'm ready to go.
All right. I tried to keep these somewhat current for you because I know you're a transplant. I know you came to the Bay late. So, but I'm not going to say that they're easy.
No, not at all.
Che actually went through all 20 of them earlier.
I did.
You did all right.
Hey, thank you.
And for those listening, Che's actually the first person to get both random questions correct.
That's right.
Of course, I didn't record it, so say what you want. But if you're ready to get started, we can get this whole thing started right now. Oh, and by the way,
this music really adds to my jitters.
And can you hear me okay over the music? Can you hear me just fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
So one of these later questions will be a daily double worth 2 points. So a perfect score would be 21 out of 20. All right. Right now, the high score is 13 out of 20. That's a 3-way tie right now. 2 listeners and then Malik Obi, who's reporting on the team currently as well. And by the way, your boy Austin Gale only got 6 right. I hate to use him as an example, but he was the first person to go.
He was the first one to go, man.
And he's a smart guy. Austin's a smart guy. All right. Question number 1. The Raiders won 4 games in 2018. Name all 4 teams they defeated last season.
Okay. Why am I stalling right now? Okay. They defeated. I'm seriously struggling here. They defeated the Browns.
Correct.
And the Steelers.
Correct.
And the Broncos.
Correct.
And the... I don't know. Did they play the Colts last year? I don't know the first one. Oh, dang it.
It's actually the Arizona Cardinals.
Cardinals.
The Arizona Cardinals. Oh my gosh, that's the one I should have got. Now I'm destined for 0.
It's all right. It's all right. You're 0 for 1 right now. You got a long way ahead of you. Question number 2.
Okay.
This is a Seinfeld question. Which Seinfeld writer voiced George Steinbrenner's from seasons 5 through 9? Which Seinfeld writer
thank goodness.
voiced George Steinbrenner?
David.
That is correct.
Goddamn.
That is correct. Larry David.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. All right, question number 3. Back to the Raiders. What 2-time Pro Bowl return man signed with the Oakland Raiders in 2017? What 2-time Pro Bowl return man signed with the Oakland Raiders in 2017?
A guy who did some fun stuff for the Patriots last year, Cordero Patterson, University of Tennessee.
That is correct.
There you go.
That is correct.
Count it.
Shout out to Dapper Dan for sending me that question. Question number 4. In the X-Men films, what's the name of Professor Xavier's telepathy-enhancing machine?
Cerebro.
There you go.
Put on the helmet, maybe.
There you go.
That is correct. You're doing well. 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4. Back to the Raiders. In 2009, this Raiders quarterback finished with an 80.6 quarterback rating.
2009 was in the absolute disasters. I'm going to say that would be Jason, the Auburn kid. Jason Campbell?
That is incorrect. Correct answer was Bruce Gradkowski.
Bruce Gradkowski.
Backup to Jamarcus Russell that year. In season 6's The Doorman, Frank Costanza wants to name the chest support garment he and Kramer invented the Manzier. But Kramer prefers the name blank.
The Bro.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
It's the Bro.
The Bro.
All right. Right back to it. Right back to the Raiders here.
Okay.
What division foe did the Raiders beat 19-16 in Week 15 of the 2016 season to clinch a playoff berth?
To clinch a playoff berth, that would be, well, they're not from there anymore, but that would be the San Diego, now Carson, next to playing in a soccer stadium, Chargers.
I like the new name.
Yeah, that's a good name.
The Angels would be jealous. That's good.
There's a lot of practice.
You've only got 2 wrong. You got 5 out of 7 right now. You're sitting real pretty. This is maybe the strongest start we've seen so far, Che, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
I like it.
We shook him with the first question, though.
First question.
I think the music got you, Scott.
Yeah, I'm totally rattled. I was so nervous.
All right, question number 8. Oldie but a goodie here. How does character Blade become half vampire in the 1998 film of the same name?
Wow. I have never seen any of those. Since I don't know, I'm going for a funny answer. It's because he didn't listen to Wesley Snipes' The Passenger 57, and he did not bet on black. That's how he became a half vampire.
Interesting enough, that was a question about a month ago. Was the Passenger 57?
Yeah.
Actually, his mom was bit while she was pregnant with Blade. And
there you go.
I highly recommend Blade 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Good movies. Marvel films.
Not 3.
Yeah, not 3.
Not 3. Here's a trick. I believe Wesley was in prison at the time they filmed Part 3. Shout out to Wesley. All right, question number 9. This is a tough one. In 2011, this Raiders player led the team in 2 categories: total yardage and touchdowns. He had 1,395 total yards and 7 touchdowns. Who is he?
In 2009 or
2011? 2011.
2011. Darren McFadden.
You fell into the trap. It was Michael Bush.
Jacoby Force.
It was Michael Bush.
Michael Bush. Dang it. All the touchdowns went to him.
Yep. Tricky one. And he had like 400 yards receiving. Interesting.
Oh, that's right.
What? Here's your first random question of the night. What is the only continent without any bees? And I'm talking about the animal, not the letter.
What is the only consonant
without bees?
any bees?
Wu-Tang.
Killer bees.
I just set the buzzer off right now. Without any bees. Hit it. I have no idea.
It was Antarctica. Too cold for bees in Antarctica. Question number 11.
Oh, content. Okay.
Yeah. And what... now, this question's on our show every week, so you got to get this right. In what year was the Raiders organization formed?
1960.
Yeah.
That is correct. That's right. So what do we got? We got 5, 6. You got 6. You had a little skid there. You're going to get back on track with this Seinfeld question. Why did George want to name his firstborn child 7?
After Mickey Mantle, baby.
That is correct.
That's right.
Mickey Mantle.
Dude, Seinfeld saving me. Seinfeld saved me here.
He hasn't missed a Seinfeld question.
That was a good call, man. You did yourself good by picking Seinfeld question.
I've seen every episode like 12 times. Yeah.
All right.
I may be dumb, but I ain't stupid.
In 2012, the Raiders completed their first year under Dennis Allen with just 4 wins. 2 of those wins came against one divisional opponent. Which AFC West foe did the Raiders sweep in 2012?
In 2012, they beat the Chargers twice.
That is incorrect.
Oh my gosh.
It was the Kansas City Chiefs.
I was covering the team then.
I'm trying to help you out, man.
I know. I'm short-term memory loss over here.
You got 7 right. We're on question 14. This question is a Guardians of the Galaxy question. My favorite Marvel title. Which of Yondu's men turn on him after he hesitates on handing over his adopted son, Peter?
I don't know his name.
They made a big deal about his name in the movie.
Don't tell me that. Jacoby Ford. Michael Bush. Michael Bush.
That is incorrect. It's actually Taserface. His name was Taserface. All right, you got 5 left. Okay. You got 5 left here. You can do this.
All right.
We saw the Raiders.
Okay, here we go.
You all right?
There you go.
You're all right. He's all right. He's still on the porch. Still on the porch. All right. We saw the Raiders' final Battle of the Bay in 2018. Including that loss, who claims the most wins all time between the 49ers and the Raiders?
That is a really good question. I'm going to say, since the 49ers have only been good for a little bit there, I'm going to say the Raiders.
That's incorrect. It's actually a tie at 7 games apiece.
Huge.
It's a tricky question. That was a tricky question.
Tricky. Well, you know what? I mean, supposedly, I read that press release back then, so I should have known.
Yeah,
I didn't read it.
Had we won last year, we would have had ownership, but now we got to walk away tied.
Yeah, and
And by the way, Scott, they're all good questions.
Yeah,
they're all good questions.
They're very good questions.
All right, pay attention to this next question. All right, Seinfeld question here. Cosmo Kramer, blank Seinfeld. Looking for Jerry's real name here.
Wait, you're looking for Jerry's middle name?
No, his real name. Cosmo Kramer, blank Seinfeld.
Jerome?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
It's actually Jerome.
Oh, did he say Jerome?
Yes.
He said Jerome.
Yes.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he said Jerome.
Oh, I thought he said Jarrell for some reason. Okay, Jerome. Got you. Corrected. So we're sitting at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 8 correct. 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Here we go. Question number 17. Name the only 2 Raiders ever to post 5 sacks in a single game.
Only 2 Raiders ever. Well, Khalil Mack is one. And the other one is Derek Burgess?
It's Howie Long.
Howie Long.
Yeah.
I got too smart for my own good there.
That was a good guess, though.
I should have just gone for the odds. Yeah. He was a
guess.
single season sack leader before Khalil took it. That's why his name was stuck in my brain.
All right. Here we go. Question number 18. And you still haven't had your daily double yet. In the beginning of Infinity War, which Infinity Stone does Thanos already have in his possession?
The yellow one?
Nice try, but you're stalling. You're stalling.
The Stone of Wonder. I think my fake answers are better than the real ones.
I would agree. Is that your final answer? The Stone of Wonder.
Yeah.
The Wonder Stone. It's the Power Stone.
Yeah, man.
Power Stone.
That Wonder Stone.
Yeah,
that Wonder Stone's gonna have a spin-off, man. The Wonder Stone's gonna have a spin-off.
We should.
Starring Fred Savage. All right.
I would watch that.
This next question is your daily double.
Uh-oh.
There's 2 answers to this question. It's worth a total of 2 points. I'll give you a point for each correct answer that you give me. So you can get 1, or you can get 2, or you can get 0.
Okay.
The NFL has begun.
That's possible.
The NFL has begun hosting international games. They've done so since 2007. The Raiders have appeared in 4 such contests, but they have only won 1 of those games. Who did they beat, and where was it played?
They beat the Houston Texans on Monday Night Football in Mexico City.
That's right.
That is correct for 2 points.
Thank goodness.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're sitting at 10 with 1 to go. You could be on the you could be above 50-50 right now.
Yeah. This is big right here.
This is right where we need the Raiders to be.
Yeah.
Right. Above 500.
Exactly.
Above 500.
Final question, and also a random question, which is not helping you out here. But Che got it right. Let's see if you can get it. What color is a polar bear's skin?
What color is a polar bear's skin?
It doesn't get more random than that, Scott.
It sure doesn't. I'm going to go with pink.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the correct answer was black. A polar bear skin is black. But
Yeah.
you got 10
I got
right.
more than Austin Gale, right?
Yeah. That's right.
You get
I'm
10.
definitely going to bring that up next time I see him.
There
no
you go.
No doubt about that.
You got
own you, Gale. Own you.
if Gail comes back on and hits 10, we'll have you guys do a tiebreaker. How about that?
Oh, that'd be good.
I love it. Great idea.
Scott, it's always great having you on. We hope to have you back sometime mid-season, and we can revisit some of these takes and see how we're sitting. Hopefully, we're all correct, and the Raiders are sitting pretty, and they're making your job a lot easier. But if not, we'll talk to you anyways.
I love it, guys. Seriously, this is like legit fun. You guys did your homework. You knew what you're talking about. It wasn't like I was reading the phone book. Very impressed. I'll definitely pump it up on social media and the whole shebang. Excellent job, gentlemen, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you so much, Scott. Enjoy Game of Thrones tonight. I know you're waiting to get in there.
You know it.
And we'll talk to you soon, brother.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Scott.
Thank you. Ah, great.
That was good, man.
Scott's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome, dude.
We're smiling. we're definitely smiling.
That was good. That was a good 2-minute drill, dog.
That was a good
real
one.
good one.
Scott's a good sport, man. We got to get him on here more. He's real busy, but yeah, what a great guest.
Oh, definitely, though.
What a great guest.
Definitely, man.
Should we hit the break?
Yeah, man. Let's hit this break, dog.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break. We're going to see you on the other side, obviously with Cain's Corner and the rest of your phone calls. Stay tuned. We out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders. And we're back. Big shout out to Scott Bair. Thanks for the love, Scott.
Yeah.
You're a fantastic guest. Wish we can get you on more. You're a busy dude. We're going to get you on as much as we can. Hopefully catch up with you mid-season. I think that'd be a good mid-season interview.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah. That'd be great.
It's time for Más Chelas con Che.
Más chelas con Che. Let's give him that background, too.
We don't need a sound effect because what do we got here? We got a nice can.
We got a nice can. We can give you that fresh crack.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
In stereo. The Pillaging
Stereo
Podcast.
Shout out, Mike Rap. Yeah, so listen, man. So like your boy Kenny said, we went out and we grabbed these chelas, man, because this is a special event tonight, man. So we had to go get ourselves a whole set of chelas. So we trying to mix it up here. So this second chela con Che here on the Pillaging Podcast, and yeah, the Crow's Nest will get its chela also. Okay, this second chela on the Pillaging Podcast is Fruitland's Modern Times beer, and I want you guys to know that it's employee owned. So shout out to you guys for doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
It's employee owned. Okay, and this is a sour. It's a tropical fruit goss. Okay, or goose or gose.
Goes.
I don't know how you say it. I'm not German. Okay, but let me take a sip. And why don't you tell them a little bit of the flavors that you're getting from that, Kenny? Because you already took a little sip there.
Yeah, so right off the bat, I mean, it says on here on the bottle, it's a sour tropical fruit ghost. It's called the Fruitlands.
Okay.
It's fruity right off the top. A lot of beers say that they're fruity, and they're not. This one, I definitely tasting it. I'm getting like a grapefruit, maybe like a pomegranate type flavor, a guava flavor definitely in there. This is good. This is really good. They describe it as a fruit-filled asteroid of flavor traveling at the supersonic speed of party.
Damn, that's a description, ain't it?
That's
a description.
By the way, shout out to Modern Times Beer. They're again another San Diego beer brewery.
Bro, if you want to have good brews, okay, we had our boys on the Crow's Nest, and they were talking about the New Jersey beers, and I'm sure they got fucking great ones too. But San Diego is a fucking hub for beers and breweries, dog,
and great music.
Yeah, and great music.
Coincidence? I think not.
Hell no.
You know what this tastes like to me? It tastes like, and I'm not trying to cheapen it here, but it tastes like a sweet tart.
It does have a little bit of a sweet tart to it.
Yeah.
You know, the first sip, I didn't get a whole lot of the sour. I got more of the fruity flavors. Right now, that's the second, third drink. I'm getting more of the tanginess on the back of the tongue.
Yeah.
That might have been the wings.
Okay.
You know, I had to wash away the residue from the wings.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to get a little bit more of that tartness, that sour on the back end. But yeah, the flavors of the fruit are really there, man. That passion fruit was that guava.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's good.
And
That's good stuff.
I will say it's a fruity beer, but it's not a sweet beer. That sour definitely saves it.
Yeah.
I won't go far as say it's dry, but the sour note cleans it all up in the end. And
it's good, man.
I like that sour. I like that
little 4-pack. We picked this little 4-pack up at the Bevmo. That's right. We switched it up.
That's right.
We switched it up. I didn't go to the Gross Out because it's a special event, man.
Yeah.
I had to go find something special. And, you know, Bevmo's the place to go when you need to find something different that you haven't seen before.
That's a special event beer.
And the Gross Out just hasn't restocked, man. It just, I walked in there today. I tried to find something. They didn't have anything new. So I was like, man, I've already done all these beers. I can't do these again.
But shout out to Modern Times because I haven't tried a beer from Modern Times that I didn't like. And
shout out, man.
They actually have a nice collection of ciders, too. So pick one up for your lady. The ciders are nice. I'm not a big cider person. A little too sweet.
I'll tell you right now, your lady would like this beer.
She would.
Your lady will like this beer.
Goddamn right she would.
Yeah.
I'm not a big I could do one cider, but after that, it's a little too much. But this is definitely good. I like this so
Very
far.
refreshing, man. Very refreshing. It's very light on the alcohol content, too. It's about a 4.8, almost 5. So, you know, you can sip on these for a good while.
And a 10 IBU, so very light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put these down. This is good, like beach day beer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kicking back in the sand.
Chill out, get some sun. You know you're going to get dried out from the fucking sun. So the last thing you need is a heavy beer because that's going to fuck your life up.
No, real bad.
You need something like this. You need something light, something that's going to keep you refreshed, keep you energized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep you happy.
Real happy.
It's
that time of the night. I think it's time to call Cain, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to call Cain.
Yeah, dog.
Let's give him a call.
Give him a call.
Hello?
Cain, what's up? We're on the air.
Hey, what's happening, man?
What's good, brother?
Doing well.
What's
How about
going
you?
on, Che? Happy 100, my brothers.
Yeah, happy 100, dog.
100. The man
Happy 100 is
the man that was here in the beginning. He's still here now.
There you go.
It's your boy Cain.
That's right.
Cain, what's good, brother?
show 1 to show 100.
That's
man,
it.
we come a long way, baby.
Another 100.
Come a long way.
Another 100 coming.
Yeah, you're fucking right. It is.
Yeah.
We're going 200,
Yes,
300, 400, 500, 600.
So I want to start
The
this.
next one will be 1,000.
There you go. There you go.
I want to start this conversation off real proper because we kind of teased this at the beginning of the show. But it's time to get in that ass. I see you, Jack Del Rio. I see you.
Oh, shit.
I'm ready.
So-
yeah. Even eating a bag of salty Lays.
There is so much salt in Jack Del Rio's game right now.
Oh, man.
He's that limon con sal.
Oh, man. That motherfucker is Lucas, dog.
He looked like he been doing a little cocaine, too.
Oh, shit. You said it.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, man.
Yeah, Jack Del Rio looking very slim. and definitely hyped up on that haterade.
Ooh, yeah.
Jack Del Rio, like I said to start the show, he came out and he said Antonio Brown will be a real pain in the ass. Guess what, Jack Del Rio? You were a real pain in the ass for the locker room, for the fan base, for management, and you got fired real quick.
You did.
Real quick.
A 9-to-5 coach. You can't be a 9-to-5 coach today.
No,
in this league.
I want my coaches in the dark ass fucking office at 3 o'clock in the morning, dog, cutting up fucking film, man. That's how I like my coaches.
Our coach is there right now. Our coach is in his office right now.
Yeah.
I guarantee you.
Absolutely.
Walking around training camp with a straw hat on. That ain't it.
No.
That ain't hitting.
No.
So
we ain't in the Caribbean, Jack.
But you know what? The joke's on us because Jack, he's still cashing Raider checks.
He is.
Motherfucker. But he had a few interviews this week. That was on your list, Cain. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Jack Del Rio except to shut your mouth?
Besides shut your mouth, he did have some interesting comments about the 2017 season that we hadn't, what we all kind of guessed or figured that it was kind of put to rest when he said, how things went wrong. They lost some special team players, and when I remember, we lost Brandon Trawick. We lost a lot of good, solid core special teams players in 2016 going into 2017. For whatever reason, they decided not to bring them back. And then, we added Marshawn Lynch, and he didn't bring to the table what they thought he was going to bring. And, so those were a couple things that he touched on, aside from the fact that Donald Penn held out and wanted more money, and he felt that they shouldn't have paid Donald Penn. This was his words. If you listen to the Dame Check show or whatever on podcast, that's just what he said. So, a lot of things went wrong for them in 2017, and that was interesting to hear. But his take on and the one other take, and I think this was a hater take, was like, he was speaking on Derek Carr. They asked him what he thought about, what the coaching staff thought about Derek Carr, and he was like, they should know what they got if they don't know what they got. We knew what we had. This is a little salty stuff that you don't like to hear from a former coach that you said is still getting paid by the team, actually, and that in one interesting take that he had that I was left to ponder was that the Raiders they like Drew Lock, and he thinks that if the Raiders draft a quarterback, that'll be the quarterback. So I mean, out of all the hatred and assault, there was some takeaways from that interview.
Jack Del Rio, still keeping his finger on the pulse of the Raiders. 'Cause what else has he got to do?
Not a goddamn thing. That motherfucker sitting at home twiddling his thumbs, dog.
We talked a little bit about the Mike Mayock presser earlier this week. We kind of gave our thoughts on it. We talked to Scott a little bit about it. Well, what did you take away from that presser? How did you feel after hearing Mike speak going into the draft?
It's all pre-draft speak. I mean, they still haven't dropped any hits as to what they're going to do. I mean, he's saying they're fine with sticking at number 4. They're fine with drafting up. They're fine with drafting back. At this point, they fine with flying to Hawaii. They're not giving any kind of hints as to what they're going to do. And I like that strategy. I do. Because there's a lot left to be pondered with the way these top 3 or 4 picks might go in the draft. So he's keeping a level head and not dropping, no hints here and there on what they're going to do. And I appreciate that, Let's just see what they're going to do. He can't fuck this up, though. That's one thing that he can't do. And, really, if you think about it, Mike Mayock is just going to do basically.
Uh-oh.
Is the level head. John Gruden is running the show. There's going to be some back and forth, but it won't be, as you guys said earlier, the one room against the other side of the room type deal. But, for the most part, both this pair, Mayock and Gruden, they can't screw this draft up. They just can't. So if you're not going to drop any hits, that's fine. Just get the shit right on draft day.
All right.
Can't disagree with that, dog. Get that shit right.
Now, if you're in his spot, are you trading back at 4? Are you trading back at 24? Are you trading back at 27? Are you trading back at all, Cain?
That's a good question. And, we don't have a third round pick. So, we have, 4 picks in the top 35 picks. And then after that, we don't pick till 96 or something like that. If the Raiders, it just depends. If the Raiders want a third round pick or if they have value at the, when they get to the pick, I really can't answer that question. Would I like to see us trade back and get a third round pick? It just depends on who's on the board when they time comes up to draft.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving along then. We talk a lot about the defensive needs on this team and the defensive talent at the top of this draft. And I even asked Scott, who's going to be the head scratcher coming out of the first 2 rounds? Is there a possibility that the Raiders still go a wide receiver early in this draft?
You know what? Anything can happen with John Gruden, but at number 4, I doubt it. I would think that, and I would like to say this, the offseason has been John Gruden on the offense, and we've been rebuilding the offense and adding players on offense through free agency. And I would like to say that the draft is on Paul Gunther. It's we need to get 3 of those top 4 picks need to be on defense, whether it's a linebacker, a defensive end, and a cornerback. And I would really like to see that. Honestly, I would like to see a linebacker, a defensive end, a cornerback, and then possibly a tight end or maybe a wide receiver with those top 4 picks. But as you said, do I think we're going to take a wide receiver early? Are you saying at number 4?
No, not at number 4, but possibly later on in that round or at the top of number 2.
If Hollywood Brown is there at 24, you got to take him.
At 24. Okay.
At 24.
So that's your guy.
That's value.
We've covered the tight ends already on this show a couple of times. So Hollywood Brown's your guy at 24. And I know he's tweeted about Antonio Brown, right? So there's been some hype there. There's been some communication there. So Hollywood Brown's your guy. Why is Hollywood Brown your guy at 24?
But Hollywood Brown is going to bring some top end speed, just like he's everything you want a receiver. He can catch the ball deep. He can go across the middle. He's accurate route runner. He's a polished receiver ready to go. The injuries probably going to slow him down in his rookie year, but this guy's just got all the tools. He can go up high. He can get the ball in traffic. He can do everything. You add him to Antonio Brown and that work ethic, that Antonio Brown that we've been seeing on Twitter, you put them 2 together, and you got a solid receiving core for the next 3 to 5 years.
All right.
Well, and it doesn't. It also helps that they're cousins, right? Ain't Hollywood Brown and Antonio Brown cousins? I think that's why we see all that video and working out going on. Right?
Is that what it is? I missed that.
They're cousins, right?
They're related, huh?
Well, just because they cousins don't mean that is he's a guy that you would put with him. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that you could put them 2 together. But I'm just going on strictly talent.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we're seeing a lot of those videos and whatnot. Because they're cousins, because they're related. So I mean, they're even though that's not what we're preaching over here. We're not saying like you take a guy because he's fucking related to somebody who's already on the team, right? But
no.
But it helps though. But it does help if the guy is talented. And he has a cousin that is said Antonio Brown who has fucking high work ethic. You would assume that he's going to fucking take that little motherfucker under his wing and push his ass and make him put out, right? Make him do, he's going to start working out the way an all-pro receiver fucking works out. Not like some, if he went to some other teams,
Yeah.
He'd be learning from the best right now.
That's what I'm saying.
The best in the game right now.
Yeah.
You can't you can only grow from that, So that would be if we took a receiver early, that would be the guy that I would say we take. People like DK Metcalf and I just think that he just all of a sudden his combine jumped him into the first round. In my opinion, he was a second or third round guy coming out, in the beginning. And like I said, after we saw his combine workout, now he's a first round pick because he ran a 4.23,
right?
In the 40. So, that would be a head scratcher coming out of the first round for me if the Raiders took him in the first round when we have needs, at other positions that with all the defensive players that you can get in the first round, and you take somebody like that, that just wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah. You can't disagree with that, man. I think I want to say DK Metcalf was somewhere in the 4.3s, wasn't he? Wasn't he in that? Because I think the fastest 40 time was Paris Campbell and your boy Andy. What's his last name?
And Kill Harry?
No. Andy Isabella.
Oh, Isabella. Yeah,
they tied for the fastest. Quick. They tied for the fastest 40 at the combine. Now I don't know. I don't know if this was at pro day or whatever.
4.33.
Yeah, 4.33. I think was the fastest, and I think DK was under that. Right? Well, no, that was DK's 40. 4.33.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 4.33.
4.33. Okay.
Yeah, and Andy Isabella and Paris Campbell, I think, came in at like 4.2 something. 4.2 something, somewhere around there.
Speaking on Paris Campbell, that wouldn't be a bad pick at 35. If we took Paris Campbell at 35, that wouldn't be a bad pick. That's like the Niners taking Dante Pettis in the second round. That'd be a good pick. I would be okay with that.
That's true.
I'd be all right with Harry too. I like N'Keal Harry.
N'Keal Harry?
Yeah.
He's a big motherfucker.
But just stay away from.
He's a big dude, right?
Yeah, he is. And just stay away from Metcalf. Just stay away from.
Yeah, let somebody else.
I'm with you with that too.
Let somebody else draft him, dude.
And he looks good with his shirt off, but that's not what I'm here for. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah, we ain't taking him to the fucking pool, dog. We ain't taking him to the beach.
Yeah, we want football players, not workout warriors.
Yeah, a lot of these momos got Metcalf posters on their wall already, on the ceiling. Even. And you know what that means.
Oh.
So Cain, I know you had at least one question here from the chat, one I picked up on. Somebody asked you, do you think we're in good shape with our depth at corner right now, or does it need to be addressed in the draft?
Yeah, that's a good question. We touched on that last week a little bit, and I still say we need to address that in the draft. And like I said earlier, one of the top 4 picks I would like to see as going to cornerback. You got Greedy Williams, you got Byron Murphy, you got the number 4, the number 24, and number 27 pick, and I'm assuming that one of the 2 cornerbacks will be there at probably 24. So it will be good to see us take a cornerback to pair with Connolly. Right now, I don't see the solid, the for sure future, number 2 corner on the roster right now. Yes, Daryl Worley is on the roster, and you have LaMarcus Joyner, and we got a solid core right now. But I'm not saying going forward that is something that I want to stick with, for the next 3 to 5 years. I think we need to draft a cornerback right now, and I think we need to take one early.
Is Greedy Williams your guy?
Either or, Byron Murphy or Greedy Williams.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose one, I would probably say Greedy. I'll probably say Greedy. They say he a little rough around the edges, and he had a bad game against Georgia. He had some bad games in the second half of the season. He didn't play so well as he did in the first half. All that's got to do with just working out, getting with the coaches, being coached up, getting on a team, getting around some of the other guys that's in the system that can help you grow as a cornerback. He'll be all right, and I think he'll be there. In the first round, he can be there at 24. I'm assuming he's going to be there at 24.
All right, cool. You wanted to give a shout out to Circle K out there in Farmington. First of all, where's Farmington at? Second of all, did you see Bill and Ted? And third, why are we shouting out Circle K, Cain?
Okay, so Circle K is on Highway 4 in Farmington. It's on the way if you're driving to Sonora. If you take Highway 4, you're going to go through Farmington. There's a little gas station right there, and I usually stop there. They got some really good fried chicken there. Shout out to that chicken over there. It's real good. So I usually stop there, grab me a couple pieces of chicken. And I was in the store, and I had on my Pillaging Podcast T-shirt, and a guy, one of the guys that worked there, he just was like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" And I looked down because I didn't realize what shirt I had on. I looked down, and I was like, "Oh, I'm on this podcast." And he was like, "Oh, you are?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Who are you, Cain?" I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Damn, you listen to the show?" Because I'm way out in boom fucking Dockville myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, "Damn, you listen to the show?" And he was like, "Yeah, we listen to it right here inside the gas station."
Oh, damn.
I was like, "Okay, so so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a shout out." So a shout out to Circle K. His name was Doolin. So shout out, bro. Like I said when I was there. Thanks for listening to the show and way to recognize.
That's what's up, man. Shocked. Shout out to the Circle K Farmington, man.
Much love. Don't use the phone booth there unless you got some free time.
Right.
Because you might find yourself in the 17th century real quick. But shout out to Circle K, man. That's cool. I don't see a lot of those over here anymore, but I grew up summers in Manteca, and there was always a Circle K over there, so we'd run over there for our slush puppies and whatnot. By the way,
you goddamn right, slush puppies.
Slush puppy better than Slurpee, better than Icy, in my opinion.
It's that granulated ice, dog.
It's that crushed ice.
Yeah, that granulated ice. It sets it off. It's a little different, man. It's a little different. It's for the old school heads. These new school cats, they can't hang with the slush puppy, man.
Here's my thing with the Slurpee. You take 3 sips, and now all you got is a cup of ice. But a slush puppy, you got that syrup.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Hey, fellas, I got a couple more questions from somebody on the chat. Y'all mind if I run through these real quick?
Please.
Hell no.
Is we running short on time?
Nah. Shoot them.
Let's see here. Let's see. Vincent Lopstein wants to know what my top 3 off-season pickups was besides AB. My top 3 picks, and I want to hear you guys as well. My top 3 off-season pickups were Isaiah Crowell, and it was hard for me to choose between these two because, they both can add some impact on either side of the ball. So I'm going to slash this one, and I'm going to say Brandon Marshall and Ryan Grant would be would match for number 2 or a tie. And then my third pickup would be Vontaze Burfict. If Vontaze Burfict shows up, Vontaze Burfict, Cincinnati Bengal, 2 years ago, we have made a good signing at linebacker. We haven't had somebody like this in I don't know how long, and I'm excited to see what he can bring to the defense and add to this linebacking core as well. We got these young players underneath them, so I'm excited to see what he can bring.
Yeah, I'm with that. I got to go with Crowell because I think he's better than a lot of people. A lot of people kind of are like, okay, I think Crowell's going to do well this year.
Yeah.
I think LaMarcus Joyner has to be in there just because of his versatility. You get a top safety. You get the number 1 nickelback in the league, and nickelback is a big position nowadays. Your third corner is a starter in this league. Number 1 snap, opening day, you're going to see 3 corners on the field, and Joyner's going to be one of them, in my opinion. And then the third guy, I'm going to go with Tyrell Williams because he had speed to this roster, speed that we thought we had in Bryant, but he's a wide receiver that's going to show up every week. He's not a head case. He's not going to bring any extra problems. He's got some issues with his hands. We've seen that before. Trust me, we're familiar with that. But I just think Williams' speed is going to open up a lot for AB underneath, and it's going to be really, obviously obvious choices to double team Antonio Brown. But Williams, if he can break free, if he can haul a couple of them in, he's going to make defenses think twice and add a level of unpredictability to this offense, especially with Richard catching balls underneath. And we'll see what we do with the tight end position. But I got to go Crowell, Williams, and Joyner.
I like that. I'm going to go Trent Brown. Because we already know what happened last season. We saw what happened with our offensive line. It went to shit. Okay, people got injured. People that we thought were going to be there weren't there, and we need to re-up, man. We need to re-up that offensive line because we already know as Derek Carr goes, we go. And if he's protected, I think we go good. I think everything goes good if he's protected. He's got the time to throw the fucking ball. And in order to get the ball to Tyrell Williams and Antonio Brown and all the other slew of wide receivers that we've now all of a sudden have on our team, right, that we didn't have, he has to be protected, man. So I got to put Trent Brown up there in the top acquisitions. I like Williams, but I do like Ryan Grant because I think he's going to give us that gadget player that's needed in this kind of offense, right? The kind of offense that John Gruden likes to run. You're going to have your guys that are going to attract most of the attention in Antonio Brown and Williams and, Crowell also, right? And who knows, Marshawn comes back. He's going to draw a lot of attention as well. So a guy like Ryan Grant can really fucking, he can really shock some people, and he can really fucking take, he's going to get an opportunity to show what he's really got. I expect him to take advantage of those chances, man. I really expect him to do really well. He's a shifty, like I said, he's a smaller guy, but he's that kind of guy that you want on your team as far as, falling in line with the other two receivers that we already got.
And I'm going to go ahead and speak for all three of us and give an honorable mention to Jalen Richard, because he's technically an offseason signing, and I think it's a linchpin to John Gruden's offense.
There you go. There you go. My last one, though, I would also go with a linebacker. I'm going to go with Burfict, just because that's the other need, right? We already know we've been begging for middle linebackers season after season after season, and we haven't gotten that solidified. So I'm hoping that with these veterans, with Marshall and Burfict, that we now have. Go ahead, hit it. Perfect. Now that we got, maybe it's not completely answered, but I think we're headed in the right direction. And maybe these young cats that we put in there and we drafted, like Markel Lee, will start to develop. And actually, I think Cain touched on it last week. We have backups. We have guys that are there. So if some were to happen to these guys like Marshall and Burfict, they get injured, then all of a sudden you got these young cats that were your starters last season, right? That's not a bad trade-off.
Yeah.
It's not a bad trade-off. So
absolutely.
Those are the three, man. Those are the three that I think are the biggest, the biggest pickups for us.
Those was good choices, Jay. I like your choice. I like yours too, Kenny.
Yeah.
But I like yours too, Jay, especially because I like the way you put the linebacker. You put it in a better position than I did. I like how you put that down.
Thank you, brother.
That's right. We needed linebacker depth, and if we have the three behind, then we got something going. We ain't had that in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let me move on to this next question because I know we running late here.
Sure.
3 Ring Raiders wants to know: do we think we're in good shape with our depth at cornerback, or do we draft one? Obviously, I answered that earlier. So I think we draft one, and I think, maybe you guys might want to touch on that a little bit. I've already touched on it, and I said we need to draft one.
I think Devin White's the guy, right?
Yeah. No, you know what? I like Devin White. I think of the linebackers that are out there, I think Devin White is well, you got Bush, right? Devin Bush, the two Devins, right? Those are the top gets. And I like Devin Bush's skill set as far as his speed and his shiftiness, but I like Devin White. I think he's got like everything. He's got size, he's got speed, he's got strength. I think I like what I see in that guy.
If we're trading out of 4 to get somewhere there in the middle, I hope it's to get a guy like White.
Yeah. Out of 4, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And our boy Bobby Wasabi wants to know: do we draft a running back 3 or stick with D. Wash? That's a good question.
Ooh. Shout out, Bobby.
I've been a D. Wash fan since he been here. I watched him at Texas Tech too. We haven't seen that D. Wash. I don't know why we haven't. Now, I've seen this guy in camp. You talking about a pocket hamster. You need to see this guy up close.
Yeah.
He got the look. You got the look. I'm telling you, he got the look.
Prince.
But has we seen it on the field? I just haven't seen it. So, at some point in this draft, we will draft a running back. And this goes back to what I said about not having a 3rd round pick. That's where you would take a running back that can, is going to be there with Crowell, that he's going to play a lot. So, do we stick with D. Wash? Nah. Do we draft a running back? It's probably not going to be in the 3rd because we don't have a pick, but we'll take a running back in the 4th, 5th, or 6th round.
Yeah.
A running back will come to the Raiders in one of those rounds.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they're sold on Warren. I think there's a lot lacking in his skill set, and I agree with all of you guys. And Watch Raiders saying it right now in the chat. Wash doesn't get enough snaps. D. Wash, He can block. He's shifty. He can catch the ball. Has he fumbled? Yeah, he has. But every running back on our squad has had that problem at one time or another. So we can't put it all on Washington. In 2016, when he was getting his snaps, he was putting up numbers similar to Rashard. And one of my favorite things about Washington is the one thing. This sounds really mundane and mediocre, but the one thing I really look for in a running back is, does he fall forward at the end of plays? And Washington does that. And that could be the difference between 2 yards. In no game. You know what I mean? And Washington, for being a smaller guy, he's yoked up top. And he's got that power, and he fights a lot harder than his size would lead you to believe. And that's what I like about Washington, is his heart, his strength, and his versatility. And I don't think we're seeing enough of him. But, hey, I'm not a coach in the NFL, so what the hell do I know?
It's true.
You know, what do I know?
This is true.
Yeah.
I got 2 more questions, and then I'm done. I just want to make sure I respect everybody that's in the chat room. You know, they took the time out to ask the questions, so I want to show respect and make sure I try to catch everybody that come on the chat room weekly and listens to us and take their time out at night to be here with us, and we appreciate it. You know, so let me get through these 2 questions. Vincent Lopstein, shout out to Vincent, wants to know, besides defensive end, what is our top need in the draft?
Great question.
Besides the very good question. Besides defensive end, our top need in the draft, and I might blow y'all hair back with this, but I'm gonna say tight end. We don't have a tight end on the roster right now that I think is a starter. You guys might, but I don't. And there's tight ends in the draft that we have. Like I said, we got 4 picks in the top 35, and it could go a lot of ways. Noah Fant will be there at 24. Hockenson won't. So if you're going to go after him, you're going to have to trade the number 4 pick and go back into 13. But at any rate, tight end is my top need besides defensive end.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree with that. I'd go tight end or I'd go linebacker, because I think after the season, again, you got 2 vets on the roster. 3, if you want to throw Whitehead in there. He's not really quite up there. But there's just no young, up-and-coming linebacker on this roster. You got Lee, you got Mario, you got Kabinda, but I don't see those guys developing into, like, game-breaker-type linebackers. So you need to draft one. You need to get yourself a playmaker there. And then I think honorable mention from me goes to offensive line. Do we have our starters in place? Yes. But I've been banging my fists on the table about depth. We're a little deeper than we were to start last season. That's for sure. But I still think we need to draft offensive line. And I would not be shocked to see one come at some point in this draft. Is there anything that we're missing, Che?
No, man. I think you guys both hit it on the nose. I would go offensive line too. That's the the not so sexy pick,
right?
And especially after last season.
Oh boy, you talk about not so sexy. You talk about pissing some motherfuckers off if you go with the top 4 picks in the top 4 picks. You better not take an offensive lineman. You talk about people busting TVs and throwing phones.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
Man.
I know. Especially after last season, everybody's feeling the way that they're feeling like, maybe we shouldn't have taken Miller or whatnot. I'm not on that side, but offensive line is always a need, dog. Listen, if you're saying what else is the another high need besides the defensive line, you start on both sides of the ball. You start at the fucking line. That's always the highest. That's the priority, dog, because that opens up everything for everyone else that's on the field. It doesn't matter if you're on offense or on defense. The defensive line, the offensive line, the line is what fucking commands the way that fucking plays happen, dog.
Yeah.
And if you have a strong defensive line that can get pressure on the quarterback, they're not gonna be feeling so good. They're not gonna be throwing the ball so well, and it's gonna force you to fucking do other things that maybe are out of your comfort zone, right? Same thing applies on the offensive side of the ball. If you don't have fucking guys to block for your quarterback, guess what? We're gonna see a lot of what we saw last season. Shit that we don't like, right? People are complaining about Derek Carr dumping off the ball, not fucking going downfield, whatnot, right? You guys are complaining about that, but the motherfucker got hit 1,000 times, got sacked 5,000 times, right? So how are you gonna deny that that's not a high need? You need to protect the quarterback, and just as well, you have to attack the quarterback on the opposite side. So the D line, the O line, those are the most important motherfuckers on the field. if you don't agree with me, I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
and just
I agree with you, Che, offensive line. But if you think about it, now just think about it. Offensive line, tight end is your help on the offensive line. Because that's your quick out. That's your hot read. A lot of times that's your hot. It can be a quarterback safety net. You know what I'm saying? For your offensive line.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. You work from the inside out.
Yeah. Just to bounce off of your tight end question, though, off of your tight end answer, the tight end is important. It's important in blocking schemes. It's important as a receiver, also as a weapon. The guy that you're looking at, as far as Fant goes, he's known more for his speed, for his ability to catch the ball. There's already a guy that's kind of in that mold. Obviously, he's got a lot to prove. We got a guy in Waller that's basically just a receiver at tight end.
Yeah.
So I don't know that you.
Right.
I don't know that you want to take Fant at 24 when you already have a guy in that mold. If you're gonna draft a tight end in the draft, I think you want to look for somebody that's kind of got all the tools, right? That can block.
So you're looking at Hockenson.
Yeah,
right?
And you'd have to maneuver to get that. And just to clear something up about what Cain said, because there's already a controversy in the chat going on right now.
Always.
Cain said we don't have a starter at tight end, and I think he's right. I think there's a number of guys on this roster that you can start at tight end and you'd be okay. But to kind of combine what Cain and Che both said is, and we had this problem the last couple of years, there's not a guy on the roster that you can line up at tight end and disguise what you're going to do.
No.
You put Waller out there, you're not running the ball.
No.
That's a for sure right on.
That's a for sure right on.
And that's a for sure right on.
And that's right.
And in this draft, obviously,
you might as well give him your playbook if you line Waller up there at tight end. You might as well say, here go my playbook.
And we kind of had it too. We had Jared Cook, who he could get in there and run block, but when you saw Jared Cook, you pretty much knew it was going to be a pass play. Lee Smith, he shocked some fools and caught a couple of touchdowns. Why were they shocked? Because Lee Smith is primarily in there to run the ball. So you can do some things around that with some trickery, but to get a guy where you don't know which way the play is going to go, that adds value to your offense beyond what that single individual could do with the ball in his hands. So a guy like Hockenson, who you're going to have to maneuver to get, right? He's not going to be there, potentially not going to be there at 24, and he's too much of a reach at 4. So if you're going to get him, you're going to have to maneuver, maybe package some picks or trade out of the number 4 spot, which I don't think they want to do. It's a tough one, but I think tight end is huge, especially with what John Gruden likes to do in his offense. I think tight end. I think Cain wins this argument. I think it's tight end is the number 1 overall. Either that or linebacker, right? But talking about this season, what we need this season, it's tight end. It's tight end right now. And you said you have one more question, Cain.
Yeah, hardcore Raider. And I think this is a good question. What do we need to do in the draft to have one playoff game? That was a good question. If you know what, we need to draft an impact day 1 starter at pass rusher. God damn it, if we don't rush the quarterback like Chase said earlier, defensive line, offensive line, that's where you start. We do not have a legitimate, and on the roster, there is no defensive end that right now that if we was going to play a game tomorrow that I feel comfortable going into the game with. Yeah. So if you draft a defensive end that can give us 10 sacks, we'll get to the playoffs.
There you go. Not arguing with that.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Facts.
Can't argue with that.
Hit him with that.
Hit him with that. Facts.
Big facts. Cain, what you got going on for the rest of your night, brother?
Oh, man, nothing. I'm about to finish up this. I'm drinking Miller High Life Show 100. That's what I drink. I like Miller High Life. I like IPAs too, but I drink my Miller High Life. I can get a 12-pack of Miller High Life for $7.99.
You fucking right.
Be good.
Cain, I was going to ask you this. I was going to text you, but you're on the show. Might as well ask you right now. Do you got your season tickets locked up?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Yeah, your seats are safe.
Not
though,
yet.
right?
What about are y'all redoing yours or what?
Yeah, shout out to Dirt Lot. We're gonna be there.
Hell yeah,
we're gonna be there.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure. That sound like a winner.
Yeah, I could smell the air already.
Yeah, it's crisp.
That crisp.
Man,
It's crisp.
8 a.m. Oakland morning weather.
Yeah.
The fresh smell of weed smoke in the morning.
weed smoke and charcoal. That's what it smells like out there. You got that right. I can't wait, man. It's what? We're sitting in April? Damn.
Yeah.
Too far away right now.
I know, right?
It feels close.
Hey, you know what? It seemed like football never went away this year because the Raiders had this exciting draft coming up. It seems like it's just we've been the focal point of off-season chit-chat all year long. It's just the season ended and we went right away to talk about we got 4 top 35 picks. It's amazing what trading Khalil Mack did for us.
Yeah. Imagine that. And just to reset what Scott was saying earlier on, because I don't want there to be any confusion, but he was saying like you trade Amari and you trade Mack and you get nothing back in return. What he was saying is for that season.
Right.
Like right now is what he means. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It feels like it's still going. There's a lot of excitement in the air around Raider Nation right now in April. But you know what? Wait until May or June or July.
Yeah.
We're going to get into those doldrums of the offseason.
We're going to get desperate. Oh, we're going to get desperate.
But you know what? The Pillaging Podcast is going to be right here.
We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere.
So hang on to us.
We'll be right here.
We'll be your life preserver in this great, vast ocean of nothingness that's about to hit us.
Bobby Wasabi wants to know, did we make it this far? He's asking the chat room, did we think we would make it this far?
Yeah.
I mean, when you got all the tools and you got all the equipment, you got the producer you got with the intensity, the motherfuckers got all the right tools to do the shit and the knowledge and the skills. Yeah. Why would you stop? There's no struggle. There was never really a struggle from day one. I mean, Kenny had all the motherfucking right shit to do it. So when you got everything right there in your face, if you stop, then you failed. You know what I'm saying? So there was never failure in my future in this. So I'm glad to see us at like I said, happy birthday, fellas. We here.
Hell
Show
yeah.
100.
Hell yeah. And to piggyback on that, we got the blog that lifted us up to start with.
That's right.
And now we got this even expanded, crowd of pillagers out there that are holding us up. So, I mean, trust me, guys, there's Sundays where I wake up and legit, when I wake up, I'm like, I don't feel like doing a podcast today. Like, I want a Sunday where I can just go do what I want. But you know what? I get on the phone with Cain or Che and it perks me up and I'm ready to go. And, just the thought of disappointing you guys, that's just too much for me to take.
Hell yeah, man.
If I ever wanted to quit, first of all, now I got 2 motherfuckers that are going to beat my ass.
Facts. And those are big fucking facts, right?
And then, God forbid, I show up to a Raider game and have to face all the y'all. So there's just too many reasons not to keep doing the show. But that's a good question, Bobby.
Hell yeah, man.
When we started, there was no thought that, where's this going to go or where's it even going to end? It was just like, let's just do it and see what happens. And I think in the beginning, man, we were just week to week, let's go. We were trying to figure it out. Do I have all the tools? Yeah. But doing music and doing podcasts, that's a whole different beast. I know when you're listening on your radio, you're like, how difficult can it be? It's just 3 voices. There's no, you think like, the production. Look, trust me, there's a lot of production that goes into this, pre-production that goes in it. It's a whole different beast. I had to reset. I had to go on YouTube and go on the internet and research podcast stuff. And it's it's a whole different beast doing broadcast versus doing, and now we're live, and so there's a lot of strings, there's a lot of gears involved here, and you guys make it all worth it, man. And I'm talking about Che.
That's why you the super producer, bro.
Hey.
That's why you the super dope podcast producer.
Best producer in the game. Best producer in the game.
You guys are making me blush.
Hey.
When your podcast numbers wasn't doing too good, who's the network they told you to go see? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Cain, man, it's great talking to you, brother. I can't wait till we can get out there. You know what? We got training camp a lot sooner than the regular season or even the pre. And we only got 1 preseason game this year. I think we got one of them is in Canada. So they keep taking games away from us. But what I'm trying to say is I didn't get out there last year, but I'm really trying to get out to training camp this year one way or another. So hopefully we can all link up and get out there.
That'd be dope,
at
man.
the same time. That'd be real cool.
That would be dope.
I might even bring my lady and just give her some shopping money.
There you go.
Because we're going to be in Napa and be like, bring a friend. You guys go wine tasting. Me and the boys, we're going to go do our thing. And we'll all be drunk when we get back to the hotel. How about that?
Sounds good.
Man, everybody looking forward to that Jets game next year, man. That's the one right there. That's what the chat room was lit up talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
You know, that if they disappoint us and put that damn game in December, I'm gonna be pissed off. I'm gonna write a letter to the NFL. That's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You give us a game in Philadelphia on Christmas. Now you're gonna give us another game in the East Coast in the snow. I'm not with that.
Yeah.
You know, we need to if it's I would like week 1, week 2. You know.
Now we've played the Jets in Oakland quite a few times, and those tend to be at the beginning of the season. So I'm hoping that trend continues, because I know we got a lot of listeners out there in New York. Raider Nation's real deep in New York, and I feel like the Pillaging Podcast, when we land in New York, y'all going to treat us way better than we deserve. And we're going to try to come out there and bring some of that Cali fire to y'all. So,
try
to make it even.
Shout out to Johnny One and Monster Mash in New York and New Jersey.
Absolutely.
Shout out. We go see y'all. We see y'all.
Yeah.
We see y'all.
Shout out to all of y'all. Shout out to Just Win Johnny. Shout out to
shout out to Splatterhead, dog.
Shout out
there,
to Splatterhead and Fitz.
Yeah.
I mean, there's too many that I failed to mention right now. A lot of New York Raider fans, and you guys.
Raider VC, Canada, Toronto. That's the East Coast. He gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a lot of love from the East Coast. We got love out there.
And here's the thing about New York Raider fan. Number one, you're a New Yorker, so the fire's there. Number two, you're a Raider fan, so you're a special breed of Raider fan.
Fuck yeah, you're a special breed.
So we recognize that. We see you. We definitely see you.
Get ready, New York, because we bringing that California fire, and you know what I'm talking about. We bring the fire, you bring the hospitality, and we got you.
You're gonna smell us coming, bro. Duct tape that suitcase, because we coming. Cain, brother, we got to hit these phone calls, man. It's I could talk to you all night, but we'll pick it up next week. Yeah.
Hell yeah,
man. It's been fun, fellas. It's been a good one. I'll chat with y'all next week.
All right, man. Keep it 100.
All right.
Peace out, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
That's the name of this episode. Keep it 100.
Keep it 100.
Let's hit the rest of these calls, man, because we got, you know what? We got another podcast to do.
Yeah, we do.
Damn. Let's see. I think we're going to listen to these calls, and we'll announce the winner either on social media or next week.
Yeah, man.
I don't even know if we can get through all these calls.
Shoot.
Damn, do you see this? All right, settle in. If these calls, if any of these calls are dragging on, are we going to move through them?
Your call, man. I say yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to be extra judicious.
Hey, man, there's a lot of calls. But let's listen real quick, though. We appreciate every single one of these calls. But as you can see, we're up against it, man. It's fucking 10-12 over here, and we still got a second motherfucking podcast of this.
Yeah.
It's getting a little tight here.
And this is on me because I didn't go to calls last week. We got 15 more to go, so let's see what happens.
Let's do it.
Hey, what's cracking, y'all? This is Gent.
Yep.
Sorry about my absence. You know, I had to take a little time to heal. Got myself right again. But now it's time to get back to it. Hella shit going on in the NFL. Hella shit going on both podcasts. I'm loving them both, by the way. Kenny, this is dope. You had me cracking up on the other show. But yeah, man, out here in Kansas City, man, these fools is trying to clown us, talking about the Luke signing, trying to say Luke is whack. And John Gruden over here signing another flop, veteran, wasting space. But they slipping, bro, and anybody that think that is slipping, because Luke ain't, trust me, we are going to draft a tight end. And when you do that, you want a veteran there that's good enough to be able to make that rookie earn his fucking job. And if he earns his job, then we're going to play. We're going to go with the rookie. But if he can't beat out Luke, then we run it with Luke. That's all there is to it. And if you can't beat out Luke, then you ain't supposed to be there anyway. So, right. Yeah, don't trip on the Luke signing. That was genius. That wasn't, man, come on now. And I also agree with my boy AB. Bro, Jimmy, pay that dude. What you doing, bro? You're rich. You're rich, bro. Pay that dude. You lost. A whole bunch of athletes think just because they're highly athletic in the sport that they play, that they can challenge another professional athlete in the sport that the other guy plays. I mean, bruh, you really thought just because you play basketball and you're athletic and you big and got muscles and shit that you could get out there and stop AD and Riz 3 times in a row? Boy, you got dusted. Hey, man, bro. 3 years? Come on, man. I don't make that much money, bro. And I wouldn't let 3 years go by on a bet. I call that a welch. So if you don't pay that dude, whack, bro. For that pay that man. But yeah, bro, I holler at y'all. This is your boy Jen. I miss you. My brother, I know I just lost my father, but my brother had passed away 5 years ago. This is funny because usually I ain't the one to call. I'm usually the one to talk shit about the motherfuckers that be calling back after they got their call in. But I couldn't let it end on that note to where I got cut off or I was on my outro. So
it's all good.
Yeah, I was just letting y'all know my brother had passed away on 5 years ago in just this month of April. And he was the one that really made me a Raider fan. His passion and it's just a trip how you still here going through life while the people that got you on the path that you're on aren't here no more. Yeah. Just think about that, you know, in your own everyday life. It don't have to be as serious as mine is and the lessons that I'm learning right now. And especially about this thing we call being a Raider fan and why you're actually a Raider fan is hopefully it ain't just because you like the colors, you know what I mean? And the gear is tight, you know, and if you're a Raider fan, you know, be one for real, bro, you know, learn about your team, bro, get some history about it, you know. I know I'm an older cat, so, you know, I may feel differently about it, but man, love your family and love your roots and go Raiders.
Yeah, go Raiders.
That's right, bro.
Yeah,
that's right, bro.
And Gent's family, bro. Gent's family. I said it before. Gent's family for sure. Shout out to you, man. And while we're at it, just a moment of silence to a gentleman that we lost last week. I'll keep his name off the show, but you know, then the work that I do, we work with a lot of kids that find themselves in situations, and unfortunately, we lost one of them last week tragically over something that definitely wasn't worth it. But he's gone now, and he was a good dude. And just a quick moment of silence for him. You will be missed, man. You will be missed. A lot of times, silence is louder than the noise that we make in day-to-day lives, and it takes that silence to realize what we had when you were here, and that's unfortunate. But all thoughts are in prayers your direction and to your family's direction. We're gonna try to do a little something to honor him on Tuesday, but and we had prayer for him last Tuesday. So much love to you and your family.
Yeah.
Let's keep it moving here. 360.
Kenny J. Cain, what's up, Pillagers? This is Pete. Man, got a little something to say, man. Since it's a new hot thing on the block to do, I'm calling in after a few cellos, even though it's a Sunday afternoon, right, while you're on the air. And, I'm calling a little faded, bro. I'm calling a little faded. I got some shit to share. All I gotta say is this. We got a lot of turmoil. We got a lot of stuff going on in Raider Nation about scouting quarterbacks. And all I got to say is this. I'm not ready to say goodbye to Derek Carr yet. I'm just not. I want to see him break Kenny Stabler's record because I like him. I just do. Like I'm be a little emo right now. Like I'm a Derek Carr fan, and I want to see this shit happen. I want to see him like rock with Antonio Brown for a little bit. And I'm gonna crack this next cello and say, we got this weird thing going on. Like, from last week where, Kenny, God bless you, but you said, people are going to be talking about tight ends sometime, somehow, after Jared Cook leaves. I don't think we need a tight end. I don't. Just don't. Why, you may ask? Because we have about 7 receivers, 4 tight ends in the building, and we should find out where everyone fits and use these next 4 first-round picks, be it 3 first-round picks and 1 second-round pick before the third-round pick, to concentrate on having a talented defense. Let's see how it goes this year and find out where everyone falls. Let's draft a running back or a quarterback or a tight end next year because, we just don't have a certain future. We need to figure that out. I'm not saying that we're going to draft a quarterback. If we don't draft a quarterback, what I'm saying is, we just need to find out where everyone lies, man. We just need to. Anyway, outside of that, got nothing else to say, but, we got 2 draft picks next year, and I hope Vontaze Burfict rips Mitchell Trubisky's leg off, the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, and beats him to death with it so we get a better draft pick so we can maybe just, let's have some fun. Let's get a good draft pick. Out of the way. Happy to be here. Thank you, guys. Talk to you late.
Good call, Pete. Pete's a great call,
Pete. Man.
Let's see here.
That's good though. Hey, this is becoming a regular thing now, huh? With the chelas, after drinking some chelas, give us a call, dog. Give us a call.
They get a little brave. They get a little more confident, and Pete calls regardless. So, respect to you, Pete.
Yeah,
Pete's in the chat right now. We always look forward to Pete's call. He's become a strong caller here late in the game.
Absolutely, and you're right, Pete. Pillaging means family, dog.
It does.
We family over here.
Let's jump to the 760.
What up, Kenny? What up, Che? What up, Cain? What up, Pillager Nation? This is C. John Fish down in Oceanside.
What's up?
I had kind of a funny thing I wanted to call about. I don't even know if y'all are putting some calls on this week or not. I know last week there weren't any. Glad I didn't call in. But I know Kenny loves talking about Greg Beaker, and this isn't anything about reminiscent about old linebackers. This is actually something kind of weird. I remember in high school, motherfucker had fur on his arms. He looked like Robin Williams and shit. And then all of a sudden he shaved the motherfuckers down right before we got real good. I don't know. Maybe we need to fucking draft some really hairy dude and tell him to shave his arms. Maybe that'll be the trick. Just got back from the fucking zoo. I am beat. I'm about to get lit. Peace.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been to the fucking zoo in San Diego, dog. It's no joke out there, dog.
Yeah, and Che's a furry beast. They try to keep him.
Yeah, I try to shave him down too, dog.
Yeah,
maybe that's what I got to do. I got to shave it down, dog. Maybe I'll shave down the arms. Maybe that'll get some wins. Oh man, nah, I won't shave the arms. Nah, that's not how it goes.
816.
What up, Kenny? Trey, it's your boy Gent. I had a funny ass phone call last week. Y'all didn't even play the shit. It's all right. I got a different bone to pick with you today, Kenny.
Oh shit.
Look here, bruh. I call you. You the homie. I've been knowing you since high school, bro. Hey, when I call you and ask what's a cool game to play on PlayStation, I was not expecting you to give me straight heroin, bruh. I had my PlayStation 3 weeks, bro. I'm already 70% through the story mode, Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
You can't stop playing. It's set up to make sure you don't stop playing. I've been blasting bad guys and slapping bitches and beating up women, stealing horses. Come on, man. You can't give somebody heroin like that and then you give me the number to rehab or nothing. Nothing. Boy, as soon as I get through with story mode, I'm going to get on the online version. I'm going to find whatever character you use and I'm blasting your ass. You can't be giving somebody straight dope like this without letting people know you giving them straight dope. PlayStation's wrong for that. That's dope. But anyway, back to Jack Del Rio over here.
Hold on. 'Cause I know he's about to go on Jack. I tried it. I told you, Cain. I told you, Gent. Red Dead Redemption is a big game.
Oh, man.
And once it hooks inside your veins, you can't get away from it.
Hell no.
I'm already feeling myself over
there.
There
you go. He's shaking over there. You shaking, dog. You shaking.
This beer is a 4.8. All right.
That's that Red Dead Redemption, dog. That's not that beer, dog.
Running his mouth about AB. Bruh, you're not with the team no more. Shut up. You was a pain in the ass for not knowing how to coach a football team. You was a pain in the ass for not knowing how to get a linebacker.
Ungoddamn believable.
So shut that shit up, bro. Leave AB alone. And basketball player thinking he a cornerback nigga. Go ahead, pay that debt. You own 30 of them. Max, you was talking shit. You lost, bro. AB shut you down. Pay the man. Yeah. But anyway, Cain, I got on the IPAs. I didn't realize I had to, step my game up. But, bro, thank you. The flavor's there, but what I really like about the IPA, it's a little hoppy. But I don't mind the hop so much because I like the kid, motherfucker. I like the kid. So thank you. We got some IPAs out here in Missouri that I know y'all ain't got out there, and vice versa. I'm gonna start taking pictures and shooting them out to Gnosis, who is Kenny. I'm gonna shoot that out to Kenny's phone. That you see the picture, see if y'all got them out there. Cause I want some of them that y'all got out there, cause that's home. I'm from G-Lock to home. San Jose. But I grew up in G-Lock to home, so don't forget about your boy Gent. I love y'all. I'll holler at you later.
That's that IPA effect, bro.
That was the IPA fucking phone call right there, dog. Hell yeah. That was fire.
That was a
fire, man.
Let's put that one on there. Let's
put
that one on there.
That was fire, man.
Gent's on the block right now. For fire calls. Let's see.
Absolutely.
Let's go. It's the 864 here. This is a short one.
Hello? Hello? Sure if this thing's working. Hello? I don't know what's going on. I can tell you what I'm not doing. Not calling from sunny Colorado, and I sure as hell ain't wearing no purple pants.
This is you know who this is. This is your boy Ice Cold Honky.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Fucking thing is broken. Hello? Damn thing's broken like the show. Same callers calling up every week. People at the WAP calling in, sound like they just got done cutting. Damn fucking Jay's done turned to an alcoholic. Congratulations on the 100th episode. I did want to call and tell you that. 100 episodes without a championship.
So
congratulations on that. Here's to the next 100 episodes without another championship. So that's all I got to say. Ice Cold Honky here. Fuck the nation. I'm out.
Damn. Man, professional troll.
Woo, man.
When we stay winning, dog. Come on now.
Come on now, bro. Come on now, Ice Cold.
This is 719. This is a long one. So
hey, I got to say something, though. It's good to hear from you, Ice Cold, because it's been a while since you called,
He
dog.
took a break from fucking his cousin. Decided to call us in. By the way, the rotary phone, not ideal for Google Voice.
Yeah, no, dog. Yeah. No. That's not a smartphone, dog. It's not.
They don't give smartphones to dumb people.
Despite what they told you at the fucking corner store when they sold it to you, it's not a smartphone.
Yeah. Ice Cold Honky out there rocking that Trump tie. All right, here we go.
What's up, Pillagers? Gator Nation, this is a hardcore Raider. Just drinking it.
Hold on, because you know how I like the transcripts?
Yeah.
They say, what's up, Lakers Gator Nation? I don't know. I know you didn't say that hardcore Raider, but Google be messing with you.
Yeah,
we're on it right now, waiting for you guys to come on. Listening to you guys' show, and draft is getting close. So, I've been thinking a lot about the draft and what we should do, and kind of done some of those mock draft games, just farting around or whatever. But the more I thought about it, if like say Josh Allen is gone, I know a lot of people are saying get Williams, deep defensive tackle Williams from Auburn or from Alabama, but I'm thinking, what if we trade back to 7 with the Jags, and possibly get Devin White if that's next best available, or maybe we trade back again. If we traded back to 13 or with the Bengals or maybe one of those other teams, where we still have a really good draft pick, then I think we could cover a lot of needs. You know, we'd probably pick up, if we traded back twice, get like 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick. That would make up for the third-round pick we don't have. We could probably get 2 defensive ends, a running back, a tight end, a cornerback, possibly a safety, and an offensive guard. You know, I think that'd be something to consider. So I was curious what you guys thought of that. I was against trading back at first, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, we could still get some really good players. They may not be like top talent, but I think we could still get some really good players that will make a difference on our team to make this defense and overall our team a lot better. So let me know what you guys think. Love you guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Pillagers, this is Hardcore Raider again. Hey, one last take I want to talk about the draft is, you know, it's always about your division. Like, how can you beat your division? You know, we got a tough time covering, you know, like with matching up with the Chiefs, you know, with Kelsey and Hill. You know, we'll see if Hill gets suspended for that one stuff that he's dealing with. But, you know, our safeties, you know, they're all right, but they're, you know, a little bit vertically challenged. So, you know, I think a guy like Devin White could cover, you know, a tight end like Travis Kelsey. I think the other upside to someone like Devin White, if we got him, is Mahomes. Even if we got a defensive tackle rushing up the middle, I just think Mahomes is too fast, and he's going to be you know, running outside and throwing the ball. But if we had someone like Devin White that could either cover the tight end or rush on the outside to, you know, help with that speed that the quarterback has, and then, you know, maybe pick up a cornerback, or with maybe the safeties we have right now is enough to cover Hill. You know, I think we got to look, as Raider fans, look at how can we, you know, beat the Chiefs. You know, Chargers, I don't even want to get into that, but, you know, I think the main component is like how to beat the Chiefs. We got to figure out a way to, you know, at least be competitive in the division and maybe have a shot at the playoffs. So just one of your guys' take on that as far as division needs, team needs versus division needs to, you know, have a better chance in our division. Okay, thanks. Sweet.
I don't know why the end of that call got transcribed to "Okay, thanks, sweetie." That's weird. That sounded nothing like that.
Thanks, sweetie.
That right there, Hardcore Raider, is a good call because we've heard a lot of takes on the draft so far, reasons why we need to take a linebacker, this and that. But to really frame it in terms of the division and how to beat the division, I thought that was a really good explanation and a really good justification for drafting a linebacker like White. So
absolutely,
I racked that call too. I think that's a good call.
I think what you got to do, man. Listen, we already know the tight end position is, you know, is a tough one for us to fucking guard, defend. In the chat right now, they're talking about Kelsey. You got to stop that motherfucker. And obviously, if we're talking about how do we defeat this division, we're talking specifically about the Chiefs because they're the ones that fucking won the division last season.
The Chargers will beat themselves.
The Chargers, they will. They'll beat themselves. They'll beat off. They'll do all kinds of shit, right? But the Chiefs, Kelsey, I think you got to hit that motherfucker, man. You got to hit him hard. Got to intimidate that motherfucker. He likes to talk a lot of shit. He likes to talk a lot of yang, right? He likes to fucking run down the field, look at people on the sideline, talk all that shit. Mm-hmm. Hit that motherfucker a few times. Make him feel what it's like when you do that shit, okay? You want to show off? You want to fucking talk some shit? Okay. Well, remember that. Come next play, you're going to feel that one. You're going to feel that one. And after you feel about 2, 3, 4 of those motherfuckers, maybe, just maybe, you start second guessing yourself. Just maybe.
And that's why Burfict's here, right?
That's right.
Just stay healthy enough to face the Chiefs once.
That's right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good call. Good call. Back to the 303.
Kenny J. Cain. It's your boy 303. Man, what a beautiful day. 65 degrees in Denver, Colorado.
That's it. We got a tough reception there. Sorry, 303. Looks like it was a nice call.
But it was good to hear from you anyways, dog.
Yeah. And we heard from you earlier on, so we like that. And you're on the board. You're on the board. So I feel good about that. Call back again next week because we do like hearing you on the show.
Absolutely.
This is our boy Monster Mash right here calling in from New York.
Hey, yo. This is Monster Mash Ken. I just wanted to wish you guys a happy 100th episode. Thanks for putting out good content. Thanks for putting us on the Crow's Nest podcast. All of us from Wolfpack Nation, we love you guys. We support you guys no matter what. We're brothers in arms. Looking forward to seeing you guys in person and rocking out at that tailgate. Anyway, Cain, Che, Kenny, keep it real. Love you guys. Congratulations.
Yeah, man, we love you too, bro. Ever since the Wolfpack joined, the group chat's been popping.
Oh man, the group chat is on fire. Dog.
Their show's taking off. Make sure you checking them out. Make sure you checking out Put on Waivers podcast. Make sure you checking back in with the Ladies of Darkness.
Yes,
everything underneath the crow's nest, the CNPN is fire.
Yeah,
that's why we bring it on to you.
That's right.
Check out the Inebriation podcast. It'll be dropping soon. The CNPN is
real soon.
Is not a network. It's a gang.
And shout out. And also look out for that Blackout podcast as well, bro, because your boy Sean Hildebrandt just got a computer. And you know what that means? The podcast is coming, dog.
It's coming.
It's coming, dog.
It's not a network. It's a gang.
Yeah. Gang.
Shout out to you, Monster Mash. You know what? It's 100th episode, and it's cool. We're celebrating. But you know what? It's another week in the crow's nest. That's what it is, because we ain't stopping.
But you know what, man? We also, just not to underplay it, man, we wouldn't be here without y'all, right? If y'all motherfuckers weren't listening in, if y'all motherfuckers weren't, adding us, tweeting at us, messaging us, DMing us, we wouldn't be here, man. If we didn't have the listens, if we didn't have the following, you guys are the reason why we're still here, because every week you guys show up. Every week you fucking give us a reason why we should continue to do this, man.
Yeah.
And we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate that. So 403.
What up, Kenny? What up, Jay? What up, Cain? It's your boy VC. Just wanted to call in and wish you guys a happy 100th episode. I'm looking forward to the next 100 and the next 100 after that. You guys are truly inspirations to us from Wolfpack Nation. And yeah, man, I just wanted to call in and say that. No questions. But you guys are the best, man. Thanks.
Thanks, VC. Oh, real quick, 254 calling in.
Oh, you hit the red.
Hey. Oh, damn.
Damn.
Call back 254. Call back
254.
Last voicemail right here. Let's get through it real quick.
What's up, Pillagers? Jack Del Rio 21, Raiders of the North. Just looking at your thoughts on running back or linebacker, sorry. We got some guys in the middle this year, veterans. How long do you think are they a bridge? Maybe we could look at somebody in the draft this year. Devin White out of LSU looks like a killer. Maybe we could surprise and take a steal there. Let me know what you think. From the North, checking out. Just Chuck, what up?
Anytime you bring in vets, especially when you bring in vets under contracts like we did, the bridge is 1 year. These are 1 year guys. If they're here next year, it's because they showed they had more juice in the tank. But right now, the plan is 1 year. It's year to year. Next year, we're going to bring in some more veteran linebackers. We might re-sign one of the guys we have right now. Will we draft a linebacker this year? Yeah. I'm doubtful that we're going to get one in the first round. A lot of us are saying Bush or White, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think you're going to draft some guys. You're going to continue to roll with Morrow, Lee, Kabinda, but I think the linebacker that we draft is probably going to be next year, much like a running back, going to be drafted next year, and maybe a corner too next year. I think these are positions we're going to be talking about next year, right, Che?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think we've already pinpointed what's the most important fucking part to draft right now in this season, because in this offseason, because of the needs that we have, right? And also because of the strength of the draft. Mm-hmm. The strength of the draft also dictates who you should fucking be taking, dog.
It's true.
And the strength of the draft, without a shadow of a doubt, is the defensive line, dog. Mm-hmm. Defensive line is the strength in this draft, right? There's some great players at different positions, but definitely by far the defensive line, when it comes to edge or interior defensive line, it's the strength of this of this draft, man.
I agree. I got Polygon hitting me up right now.
Was that Polygon call you?
No.
What was the area code on that call?
That was a 254.
254, man. Anybody out there in the chat? 254. Who was that, man? Hardcore Raider says that's Fort Hood. Fort Hood?
I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know, but
call back, man.
Call back. You got a couple seconds here,
yeah,
because we're about to get into the shout outs. So, really quick, let's do some shout outs.
Is the Raider Critique?
Oh,
that's who it was. Raider Critique. Call in, dog. Call in.
Call right back. First off, we'll start with the YouTube shout outs then, because they're short. Shout out to Crazy World Television. That's Tell Live Vision. Shout out to you. Thanks for the follow. And shout out to Obi-Wan Raider, man. You've been following us on Twitter for a while. It's good to see you subscribe to the YouTube and always delivering content to us and whatnot. We appreciate you, brother. Shout out to you. We'll do this kind of backwards right now. Let's go to the Instagram shout outs. You got those ready?
Yeah.
You on deck?
Yeah, well, let me shout out Obi-Wan Raider again, okay, because he's on my list over here out of Spring, Texas, okay, by way of Compton, okay. So shout out to you, bro. He says he's been Obi-Wan Raider since 1983. Oh, here we go.
Call from
The Raider Critique.
to accept, press 1.
What's up, Raider Critique? Man, you in county jail too, bro. What's up?
No, I'm not in county jail, but I might as well be since I'm over here in Killeen. You know what I mean? But hey, I just want to congratulate you guys on your 100th episode. I try to catch you guys live as much as I can. With this lot that's been going on over here, man, I've had a lot to do with work and family and all that kind of thing. But, you know, I just want to congratulate you guys, man. I really dig you guys helping me out on Twitter, too, because, you know, I be running my mouth on there, and a lot of you guys come and back me up. Kenny, you too, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And, you know, what my question is, man, is everybody going to stop talking about getting rid of Derek Carr anytime soon, or is everybody going to have to be shut up again because they ain't listening to me at all? I mean, I don't understand it, because we know that Antonio Brown's not going to want to play with a rookie unless Derek Carr happens to go down. You know, I really don't see us picking up a rookie quarterback, maybe toward the later rounds. You know what I mean? But it's just, I just don't understand the hate for Derek Carr. I don't understand it. Can you guys please elaborate on this for me and kind of make me feel better before I go to bed? You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the Derek Carr criticism started with the day that we drafted Derek Carr. A lot of it came from his pedigree and what they saw out of David Carr in the league. And you can't even really pin all that on David Carr, too, because he walked into a terrible situation there in Houston. You know, all the sacks that he took and whatnot, definitely did not have a team around him. And it continues on to this day. So the only thing that's going to silence the Carr critics is Derek Carr himself. First off, get the man's name right. His name's Derek, right? But second of all, you know, it's a lot of short-sighted criticism, right? It's a lot of you're not looking at the context of what's around him. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, but there's quarterbacks that make something out of nothing. But when you really look at like the top of it, you look at Tom Brady, you look at Drew Brees, you look at Phillip Rivers, you look at, help me out here, who else top in the league? Maybe the only guy that I say is doing something with nothing, and this isn't even every year, is Eli Manning. And they're on his case too in New York. Yeah. The man brought you 2 championships, and they're on his case too. Now, is Eli washed? I say Eli's washed at this point, but the only person that's going to silence these critics is Derek Carr. He hasn't had ideal situation around him, and he's not the type of guy that's going to make plays on his own. We've seen him try to do that with some success. Other times he's fumbling the ball at the back of the end zone. He's getting himself hurt, whatnot. Derek Carr can run, he can create plays, but Derek Carr is a pocket passer. That's what he is. And you know, now
and you can't really sit there and think that he's going to do really well if he's being sacked more times in one season than he's been sacked his whole career.
Yeah.
And did I say David? My bad, bro.
No, you didn't.
David, if I did, it might just be my southern accent. You guys might be able not to really be able to kind of catch what I'm saying, you know. But I mean, people can sit there and call me a Derek Carr apologizer or a Derek Carr sympathizer, but that's not the case. I remember dudes like Todd Marinovich. I remember Vince Evans. I remember Jeff Hostetler. I remember Jeff George. It has been a long time since we've actually had a viable franchise quarterback that I can actually get behind. Most of the time I'm trying to throw my beer through the TV because we're sucking so bad, you know what I mean? But let's just be real. You can't let the dude be on his back. You know what I mean? And he was on his back most of the time last year. So I just don't understand the hate. And in every chat room we go into besides this one, and of course, you know, Raider Fan Radio with Murph, you know, it's all hate on our quarterback. And then they're talking about Kyler Murray. The dude only started 1 year in college, won the Heisman Trophy. Hey, that's all good, but that doesn't sell me. You know what I mean? I'm not sold on that dude at all. I'm hoping that he's gone round 1, pick one, you know?
Yeah, no,
because it would shut him up, dude. You know,
I agree with you. I think that the Derek Carr hate, while some of it's, you know, justified, he hasn't performed, you know, 100% every year.
Right.
It's what he's working with. Look at the wide receiver group that he had last year. Look what he had the year before that. 2016 was an anomaly. How many of those games did we win at the last second? And who was winning them? It was Derek Carr. So
that's right.
I think this has been kind of since the start of Derek Carr. We've had criticism of him. His first year wasn't all that, but when we got over the hump after a 10-game slide, everybody rallied around Carr. Everybody loves Carr when he's doing well. Everyone wants to pile on him when he's not. But I think you and myself and Che and Cain and a lot of people associated with this show, they see it. They see what it is. Derek Carr's our franchise quarterback right now. That's going to change sometime in the future, but we've seen this long lineage of just trash at the quarterback position. Derek Carr is the one beacon of light we've had in a long time. If you're going to, instead of spending your time calling out Derek Carr, why don't you call out all these trash defenses that we've had that can't protect any kind of lead that Derek Carr gives them? How about last season when we were going into halftime with the lead for like 9 games in a row last year?
Right.
Now don't fact check me
yes,
on that.
sir. Yes, sir. See, all you guys are is pushing my narrative, and I love it because that is exactly correct. Our defense has been trash. Our secondary has been less than stellar, and we have no pass rush.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that you got to be able to develop a pass rush to make the opposing team's quarterback uneasy in the pocket to where he makes mistakes. So I can't really put that completely off on our secondary unless, we want to put it off on Reggie Nelson and his Walker.
Yeah. And it goes for all sports. It has to happen on both sides of the ball. I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. Don't look at me like that, Che. I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. We've had good pitching, and we have a ballpark that caters to good pitching. But how many games have we lost in the last 2 years? 2-0, 3-0, 1-0. You know what I mean? It's great if you want to shut down an offense, but if your bats ain't putting runs on the board, you're going to lose games. It's the same thing in football. You could have a lead, but if you don't have a defense to protect it, they say it time and time again, defense wins championships. But it takes both, right? It takes both. It takes an offense to get you there and a defense to shut it out and carry you through that whistle. So I'm hoping that this is the year that Carr can silence the haters, because I don't think Derek Carr, John Gruden, the rest of the organization, and all of us riding with Carr can fend off the haters if we have another dud year. Now, I'm cautiously optimistic. We use that a lot on Derek Carr this year. I think that there's no more excuses. The only pass I would give him is the offensive line. If the offensive line shits the bed again, I don't know. But you even saw it last year, even under those circumstances, and everyone will say they'll blame the short routes and the type of offense we had. But if you look at Derek Carr's numbers, minus touchdowns, he had a career year last year, despite all that adversity.
Yeah.
So, get this guy some playmakers around him is exactly what Mike Mayock said. If the general manager can see it, but you can't, I can't help you. Raider Critique can't help you.
Right.
Shea can't help you. Take a step back.
And that's the sad thing about it. People are just they get something in front of their face, and then they just want to try to push that. And to be honest with you, it's almost like I try to stay off Twitter, man. It is so negative, so negative. I mean, Raider Cody and Kenny and Chris Wysong. I mean, you guys are always, putting the spirits back up into me because you guys back the quarterback just like I do.
Yeah.
You guys remember exactly what we had.
Yeah.
Matt McGloin, Andrew Walter, Marquise Tuiasosopo. I mean, and I liked Marquise. Marquise was a cool dude. He was nice to come in, and, of course, he's Texas native. So, of course, I'm going to back him too. But we have not really had a good franchise quarterback since, and I mean, I'd hate to say it, but Jason Campbell.
Yeah.
And Jason Campbell, a lot of people can sit there and hate on him whatnot, but he's a lot better than Carson Palmer. And he proved that because the dude could stretch the field and he could make plays. Now, were we going to actually be really good with Jason Campbell? No, we probably would have went out in the first round of the playoffs, but we would have made the playoffs if he would have stayed healthy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hey, here's my thing to Carr haters, though. What's your backup plan, right? Up until now, you haven't had one, and now you're sitting there, and this is the same people that hated on the Mac trade. Now you hate on the Mac trade, but now your solution is to take all that collateral you got with the Mac trade, package it together, move up in the draft, and throw it at a quarterback as a rookie who's undersized, like you said, only started the one year.
1 season.
That's your backup plan?
1 season.
That's a trash take, in my opinion. Ride this season out.
Yeah, that's a dumpster fire waiting to happen.
Yeah, it is.
Basically,
Yeah.
I can't trust somebody who's only started 1 year in college, especially when in college you might face 1 to 2 all-stars per season.
Right.
In the NFL, you're going against nothing but all-stars.
Yeah.
These are the greatest of the great that came out of college, and luckily they've been drafted to go ahead and play in the NFL. But there's a reason why they were drafted to play in the NFL, because they are phenomenal, and it's just the hate kills me, man. It really does, because you sit there and you look at guys like Jamarcus Russell and all the trash that we have had, and then you got these people who are like, oh, Derek Carr's a piece of trash, he's garbage. No, he's actually pretty accurate if you give him the opportunity to throw the football. You got to have at least 2 seconds in the pocket to make your first 2 reads.
Yeah.
And you're not getting that if your left tackle's on his back and your right tackle happens to be a 3rd round draft pick who needs better coaching.
Yeah, right.
Tom Cable obviously is not that guy. I would like Cable gone, but that doesn't look like it's happening. It looks like we're keeping everybody, even Greg Olsen. I've been a huge disbeliever of Greg Olsen due to his record with the Raiders in his first 2 tenures. And I believe that we went 4-12. We went 4-12 last year, and then 3-13 when we had him before. And I know John Gruden is supposed to be the one calling the plays. He's supposed to be the offensive guru, but sometimes Greg Olsen's not just standing there being pretty. He's got to be doing something. So I don't know on whether he's part of the problem or if he's part of the solution. But I sure do miss Musgrave.
Yeah.
And I was one of those guys who wanted Musgrave gone, and I feel really bad for that. I definitely feel bad for that now.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do. I think Olsen was brought back to help Carr's confidence.
Yeah.
Greg Olsen is basically Carr's Whoopi, right? He's the guy that helped Carr work on his footwork, help him work on his reads. Olsen, say what you want about him as a coordinator, but quarterbacks that have learned underneath him have actually shown improvement. So I think you got to look at Greg Olsen as more of a specialist than a coordinator. Even back in John's first era with us, Bill Callahan was the offensive coordinator, but he was just calling run plays. He was an offensive line coach, so he was calling run plays. But Critique Man, I appreciate the call. We're kind of up against it right now, and this is cool,
that's
man.
Awesome, man. Thank you for easing my mind, man. Now I'm going to go back into the chat room and start talking with the rest of the nation, man. Peace out, guys, and congratulations on your 100th episode.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, dog.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all take care, man.
Peace.
You too.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man, calling from Texas, where black pepper is a food group. Don't at me. Don't even argue with that.
Black pepper is a food group.
It is. Let's do the rest of these shout outs.
Get him. All right. Hey, you had passed it off to me, so
yeah.
Let me get him.
Yeah.
All right. So shout out to McKenna 118. Shout out Edo Lopez, Don Brossman Jr. Shout out to our boy, production by Ant Serrano. That's our boy from the No Ledge podcast. And shout out to Nez as well. Shout out El Joey. Shout out Audi Leave. Shout out Raiders Throwback. Shout out I'm Sick James. Sick James. And that's it, bro.
All right.
That's it.
These are some Twitter shout outs. Shout out to Anthony Pena, Cutie Raiderette, and she's all of that. Shout out to Raider XV. Shout out to the Nation Booster Club, Dallas Fort Worth chapter, Texas representing again. Shout out to Chuck McBride, Raiders of the North, Jeremy Knox, Corrupt 88, Tony Jajour, Simone Tortorici. Shout out to the Blitz Football Podcast. They're a raucous group over there. They like to drink. They also hate Tom Brady, so check them out. Right. Shout out to Dave at the Big Play Podcast, Fam House, Brad Ashby, Brandon Merrill, Trey Carr, Nolan Dawson, Lavita the Life, Modi Sports. Shout out to Small Town Frenchie, Leo R, Queen, Sheila, Elaine, 45 Beasting, Raider Juby, Raider 13 Mike, EB34, Titan Clint, King 33. Shout out to Steve Yule, Autumn Wind 34, and of course, shout out to Scott Bair, and a very special shout out to our boy Javi, who we ran into over at Bevmo.
Oh yeah, shout out, dog.
And he was getting his little Game of Thrones beers on.
Yeah.
And he's an avid listener, so I know he's not listening right now. He's on his Game of Thrones trip, but
catch that replay.
He's going to be listening first thing in the morning. I know that, and I'll see you at work, Javi. We love you, bro.
Absolutely.
And you live here in town, so you got to come through to the Crow's Nest and sit in on one of these episodes.
Hell yeah.
Maybe put him on that 2-minute drill.
Oh shit.
So we'll see what he's really talking about.
His specialties is gonna be Game of Thrones and chelas.
Yeah, because his claim to fame, 75 breweries under his belt.
That's what I'm saying.
That's solid. And he's trim. I mean, you picture a guy who's been to 75 breweries is not fit.
You picture me.
No, I'm thinking way bigger.
Nah, man, you got to stay in shape, man.
Yeah,
you gotta stay young, dog.
He's probably running from brewery to brewery, and there ain't nothing wrong with that.
Miles,
he's like the Forrest Gump of breweries.
Shit, man.
But man, that's it for this week's show.
Yes, it is.
The 100th show. Che, salute to you, brother.
It's been a ride, man. It's been a ride. I look forward to the next 100 and so on and so forth, huh, bro?
Hell
yeah. Hell yeah, dog. Cheers to that.
The 3 horsemen of the Raiders podcast right here.
That's it, man. That's it.
But tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909 PJFF. We will be opening phone lines again in the future. That was fun. I think we'll keep doing that. Reminder to download the official Pillaging app available for iOS and Android. Go check out DC4LCustomTees.com for all your Pillaging gear. Please donate to the show. I've fixed the links. They are on our social media profiles. They are on our Libsyn page. It's on our website, pj4f.com. It's on our Twitter. It's in the show description of this YouTube. Yo, help us out, please.
Yeah.
We're starving over here. Be sure to listen to our other podcast on the Crow's Nest Podcast Network. First off, the Crow's Nest Podcast proper, which we're recording right after this. The Put on Waivers Podcast, Wolfpack Nation, which is great. They've had some great guests. They had Stu Schweigert on. They had Murph this week from Murph's Man Cave.
Yes, they did.
They've had a lot. They've had Mervin Fernandez on there.
Yeah, man.
Incredible.
Great guests.
Check them out. Coming soon, the Blackout Podcast, the Inebriation Podcast, the Ladies of Darkness Podcast. Man, gang. Growing. Until then, keep the wind in your sails and the rum in your mug. And pillage on, Raider Nation. This has been a product of the Crow's Nest Podcast Network. I'm Kenny Stapler, joined as always
by your boy Chip.
And we out here.
Peace.
Go Raiders.